5 more minutes left for one.
Лёг, не сиди на коленях, сначала послушай, сделай, что ты там можешь Welcome back to our coverage of the IBSA Blind Football European Championships 2017 here in Berlin. What's coming up? Well, it's our second semi-final of the day. It is Russia against France, the winners of Group B against the runners-up of Group A. My name's Alan March. Alongside me is Peter Selby, one of our match day commentators. You are really lucky because at the beginning of this tournament you said you felt the winner would come from Group B, and then the other day you said, but England looked really, really good. There's no England anymore. Are you still confident the winner of this will come from Group B?
Yes.
I thought you might say that. It was astounding. If you're just joining us, we've had 101 goals in this competition. The 101st was the first own goal of the competition, and it cost England very, very dearly. But let's take a look here at what we've got coming up for this game. It is Russia, who were, well, compact, dedicated and very tight at the back against a France team who many would consider lucky to be here, but sometimes you need that bit of luck, and they are here, and a bit like Spain against England with 12 seconds left, have they got something in their locker to get them all the way through to the final? Russia with a victory over the defending champions who are out already, that's Turkey, drawing against Spain, 11-1 thrashing of Georgia, a steady night against Belgium, nice and comfortable. France, on the other hand, victory over Germany, surprised everybody here. Then a heavy defeat against England and a draw against Romania, and you felt like France were going out, Pete, and all of a sudden a 7-0 big victory over Italy, and with England beating Germany in their final group game, France have found themselves here. Fortuitous or not, they're here, and as we've just seen, Spain, with 12 seconds left, going through. Anything can happen in this tournament.
Yeah, anything can happen. It really depends on which France turns up. Is it going to be the one that drew disappointingly against the bottom of Group A, Romania, or is it going to be the one that thrashed Italy? We'll wait and see. But if France turn up, the French that beat Italy by 7-0, then they will give Russia a really good match. But I do fancy Russia. They're strong, they've got the experience of getting through knockout stage football, let alone the group stage, into the final. They were unlucky in losing last 2 years ago to Turkey. Very solid team, very physical team, and as you can see by well, the scores early on in the tournament, they had a very tough group against the likes of Turkey and Spain. Of course, they might play Spain in the final on Saturday. But yeah, I think it will be a Group B winner, and of course if it turns out that Russia do go through to the final, of course it's going to be Group B. But a really interesting matchup. It just depends, in my opinion, on which France turn up. They have the firepower to cause Russia a lot of problems, and of course it just means a bit of ill discipline from Russia as well, and that could lead to maybe a few penalty kicks for the French team. So an intriguing matchup in the second semi-final.
You can see on the bottom of that on your screen that we are already with two teams knowing what they'll be doing on Saturday. These two teams need to define their destiny. Will it be Russia or will it be France, who have had their luck and their moments in this competition? Germany missing 3 penalties against France in that game, and France, well, you know, if your opposition aren't going to score their penalties, and it's as simple as that, you take your victory. Then that horrendous draw against Romania, and everybody just looked at France thinking, oh, hang on a minute, maybe they were just lucky to get the victory. Battering Italy in that game, and here they are. Let's take a look at the shot count so far. We haven't added the England and Spain stats from the 5th game, but after the group games, it was Russia who had the most shots, 44 in their 3rd game and 33 in their final game. And actually, to begin the tournament, we thought they were a little bit slow and a little bit sort of weak in front of goal, but then all of a sudden they just started opening up.
Yeah, they've got a lot of firepower. Ivanov, Shalev, Tikhonov, who's normally a defender, wears number 3. He can score from distance and look out for Denis Igorov. Denis Igorov won't actually be in the first team for Russia. He will be on the bench and probably coming off the bench, but for Russia. But for France, they've got players like Morgado, Martin Baron, long-headed number 6, who operates again on the left. He's their main attacking threat. And they've got goals all over the field. The likes of Rouvière scored an amazing goal against Germany, dribbling the length of the field. So they have the players that can cause Russia problems, but I think if Russia do go into a 1 or maybe 2 goal advantage, then I'll struggle to see France getting back into the game. They need to start well, the French.
Okay, so Pete heads off to the commentary box. Thank you very much to him. We go back down to the pitch. The second semi-final here in Berlin. Russia won their group. France second in theirs. A place in the final. They both booked a place in the World Cup next year. Runners up last time out, Russia. Can they go one step further? Their victory ultimately in the group knocked out the current holders, Turkey. As we go over to our commentating team of Jonathan Bell and Peter Selby.
Thank you very much, Alan. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Berlin for the second of the semi-finals. And if it's anything like the first, then we are in for an absolute corker. Russia coming into this one looking like a very superior outfit indeed against a French team who many thought were fortuitous in order to be at this stage of the competition, but they are here on merit and ready to fight against the runners-up of 2015. Russia in their traditional all-red strip, France in their traditional all-blue. Who will come out on top in this clash of European heavyweights? First, though, we will have the national anthems, starting with France. So we are ready then for semi-final number 2, Russia against France, and this is set up very nicely indeed. Let's have a look at how the two teams line up then, starting off with Russia. Injury problems dent their hopes in terms of the starting 5 as star man Denis Agorov has to sit on the substitutes bench due to that injury he suffered with his right foot in the back end of Russia's final group match in Group B. Replacing him is number 8, Evgeny Shelehev, who has seemed like a very impressive player already so far in these championships for the Russians. As for France, they line up just like this. Michel Baron manages to keep his starting spot with the captain's armband once again. He and Fabrice Morgado will be leading the French team with a lot of experience, that is for sure. David Lebert has put in some very impressive performances as well in these championships for France. He will be required to produce another big performance here again as well. Manuel Morgado, incidentally, the guide for France, is the father of Manuel Morgado. So both teams, sets of teams just being read out to the tannoy and the crowd here in this stadium. Both sets of players stood either side of the halfway line at the moment. France in the blue shirts, blue shorts and blue socks, with goalkeeper Julien Royer in his yellow shirt, black shorts and black socks. And as for Russia, they're in their all-red strip of red shirt, red shorts and red socks, with a red collar as well on the shirts, with their goalkeeper in luminous green, Anton Yakovlev. The referees for this game, Attilia Balin and Patrick Sapunzoglu, they are both in their green jersey, black shorts and black socks. And the man on the right of your screen is Andrew Page, and he will be joined in the dugouts by Tamas Jesko, who is on the far left at the moment of the white tent. Let's have a listen then to the toss.
We change next. We change the
change. Yeah. So you start here. Okay. You have the ball. Please. A good match. Good luck.
So there we have them, France deciding to change ends and start away to our right, where they are currently huddled at the moment with their team bench. Russia will have the kickoff, and Russia have been very menacing right from the start of group game matches so far in these championships. In order for that to continue, they have to be able to get out of the box right from the start and put France under pressure. The longer Russia go without a goal, the more encouraged France will be. And of course, France are certainly familiar with the big occasion. Three-time winner of the European Championships, also silver medalist at the Paralympic Games in 2012 in London. Russia got to the final in Hereford in 2015. It was heartache for them against Turkey that time around. They'll be looking to have the second opportunity to lift that trophy by winning this game and getting to Saturday night's final here in Berlin. It is fantastically poised here. Russia against France. The officials just making sure that both sets of players' blindfolds are on. Of course, all the outfield players for both teams wear blindfolds. They are completely blind anyway, but the blindfolds just ensure that everyone is on a balanced playing field. Both goalkeepers are sighted. Also sighted are the guides behind each goal. They guide the attacking players as to whereabouts the net is and also how far the attackers are away from the net. Russia then kicking from left to right in this first period. Ivanov with hands on hips, ready and raring to go for this one. Russia must feel confident, but France certainly are underdogs in this competition and searching for a spot in Saturday's final. Silence falls around here in this wonderful facility right in the heart of the German capital. Russia locking horns with France. And the thumbs up has been given by the official, and we are good to go. Ivanov stood over the ball with Shalayev. Ivanov will run forward towards the left-hand side. Already towards him is Riviere on that far side. And Riviere manages to win possession, comes towards the halfway line, plays it to the left-hand side, and Baron. Baron, the number 6, comes over the halfway line to the right, and it's Penisson. Penisson coming over the halfway line, but Ivanov wins the ball back already. Lebert goes across to that far side, concedes a free kick, and Russia have a early decision going their way here, and there will be a first-team foul inside the first 20 seconds going against France.
Foul number 4, France. First personal foul, just personal foul for Savage.
So it's going to be a free kick to the all-in-red Russians. Again, as Jonathan said, they're shooting from left to right. France from right to left, all in blue. Here goes Ivanov down the left, and he's going to win a corner. Goes off a blue boot last, and it will be a corner on the left. And just holding his right leg, Ivanov gets to his feet. He's going to be fine. He's just limping somewhat towards the left corner. So a corner to Russia, who will start as favourites against France after winning Group B. Of course, the winners to play Spain in the final after that dramatic penalty shootout win against England. Corner taken from the left-hand side. Tikhonov tries to back heel, doesn't first time of asking, gets another chance, does so to Ivanov. Lovely backflip by Ivanov, still on the left. Not going anywhere near the D or the goal, and Ivanov's being pushed out by the French number 8, David Labert. Just clears for France, and I said to Alan before the game which France are going to turn up. If it's the one, that's a push in the back, it looked on Tikhonov, but the referee waves play on. It's with Shelev downfield, he goes to ground. Again, the referee's wave play on, and Baron, who France will be hoping will be at the other end of the field, does this defensive duty. Baron up over halfway, down the left. Good dribbling skills by number 6, Baron. Just loses bearings and can't get a shot on goal with his right boot. Follows the ball over to the right, and he's still got an opportunity coming into the D, but he's battling with the Russian number 4, and it's Loktinov. And Loktinov trying to clear, in fact just plays it across his D to the Russian right. Shelev gets beaten by Labert. Labert on the left. Again, winning back for France. Baron up to halfway. Stops. Now goes back towards the goal he's shooting towards. On the right. Chance for a right-footed shot. Palmed away by the goalkeeper. Good save there by Ikalov, the goalkeeper for Russia. Good opportunity for Baron. He's going to be their main goal threat, and Baron managed to get 3 of the Russian players behind him. Attempted a right-footed shot across the goal, and a good save by the goalkeeper. Right-handed, managed to palm it away for this corner.
Really good shot that from Baron on the right side of the area, really getting Yakovlev scrambling towards his right corner. Corner taken. Penisson has got a wonderful goal against Italy yesterday. Gets towards the byline and wins another corner again on the left-hand side for France, who are certainly knocking on the Russian door in the first 2 minutes of this match. Baron standing just in front of Penisson here, and both sets of teams well backed by supporters in the crowd. You can just see the Russian flag there in the centre of your screen. Baron coming round in an arc, then decides to go for the quick route into the area. Swung the first time around, missed the ball, gets a second bite at the cherry right side of the area, surrounded by red, and in the end Ivanov manages to get it over the halfway line. Labert struggles to track the ball, but Ivanov wins it just on the kickboard on the far side. Labert still battling away at the halfway line, and they're forcing each other back towards the defensive zone for Russia, and Labert again conceding a free kick. It's the second foul he's given away in this game, and it'll be interesting to see if this one indeed is a foul against the team as well. Ivanov trying to clear the ball away with the right foot, and it turns out from the referee that it will indeed be a team foul, and it's the first one of the game against France. So Labert is usually a player that wins free kicks, concedes free kicks as well, always involved in the action, this time giving one away. And Russia have a free kick midway between the defensive line and the halfway line, just left of centre. Tikhonov takes, nice angled ball with the right foot, low towards the right-hand side corner. Shelev couldn't get near the ball, however, and Russia will start from the back. They're readying a substitution of France at the moment as the ball goes out of play at the other end, and Yakovlev will throw before the substitution is made. Yakovlev throws it to the left-hand side, and his captain, Loktinov, who comes towards the broken line in a central position now. He's got Tikhonov as an option, but Loktinov wants to go himself. Goes towards the halfway line. Good ball towards the left-hand side. Ivanov sticking out the left leg to try and get the balls. It came back off the kickboard, but it goes past him and out of play for a French ball. France throw the ball prematurely before the substitution has been made here. So Penisson, the number 4, is replaced by number 9, Fabrice Morgado. So Morgado usually is a team captain for France, of course, starting on the substitutes bench today. So Baron is the one with the captain's armband, and Morgado is also the son as well of guide Manuel Morgado is down the other end of the field. So Roya will take the throw in his yellow shirt with the black underarm sleeves, black shorts, black socks as well. Just bowls it gently towards the left-hand side of his area, and Labar deep here, coming towards the edge of his own defensive third. There's two blue shirts in the attacking zone. It's a good ball towards the right-hand side. Morgado just took out the right foot there, couldn't get on the end of it, and out of play it goes behind for a Russian ball. Yakovlev bowls it down the left-hand side, bounces off the kickboard just on halfway, goes down the left channel, and again Ivanov can't get on the end to it. A bit of a scrappy start to this one. Russia's certainly not taking this one by the scruff of the neck as we may have suspected they would do. Morgado controls well on the right side of the area. Loktionov goes towards the far side to bustle away. A good ball across the face of goal by Morganov, but Yakovlev down low to get the ball just along his goal area. Throws it low down the centre for Shelayev. Comes down the right-hand side. Labar in his back. The two number 8 scrambling towards the byline. It goes out of play, and it will be a Russian corner on this near side there, right. Labar just slowly getting back to his feet there, the number 8 for France. And Shelayev, who's a very industrious player down the right-hand side, diminutive and always trying hard to be creative in front of goal, wins a corner on the near side. So bit of chance for Russia to put some pressure on here. Shelayev rolls it in front of him for Tikhonov, coming round in a wide arc. Baron, great pressure from him. He certainly has the physical presence, does Baron. Needs to be careful, though, not to concede a foul, and he does as well, just short of the halfway line in the Russian half. And the referee there, who is Patrick Spontaglu, just telling Baron to be careful, and it may be a second team foul of the game against France. One thing I would say in this game, Pete, is Russia are used to soaking up pressure. They're a more defensive outfit than they are an offensive one. So when they're against a team like France, where they maybe are expected to penetrate the opposition, maybe it doesn't suit them as much.
No, that's true. Russia, they're an all-round solid team. They've got players who can score from distance, like Tikhonov, who's going to take this ball forward. Laber in front of him, but Tikhonov goes on the right, shoots from distance and into the goalkeeper's hands. But yes, I agree, it might take him a while to break them down, but I said on to Alan before the game, as Shelayev picks it up, players like Shelayev, who goes to ground holding his nose, nothing given, so an accidental collision through to the goalkeeper once again. If they do go a couple of goals in front, then I do fear for France, because I don't think they can get back into the game. I think if France are going to get something from this, then they will need to go in front. That said, I was in a similar position with England against Spain, and they went 2 up, and we all know what happened from there on. Here goes France over the halfway line. Laber cutting back well and just being held back by Shelayev in the centre circle. Laber going to ground for a third time, still with possession. Fantastic control by the Frenchman in the centre circle, plays it out wide to the left. And try and bring Morgado into play. Morgado, another busy burying player, puts his head down and charges at the defence in a central position, trying to win the ball back. Morgado out wide on the left is going to be Baron, and Baron, the main goal threat for France, just loses out to Iganov. And it's a bit of a midfield battle at the moment. Tikhonov just runs again into the French midfield in the centre circle, plays it out wide to the left. There's no one there in the red shirt, so it's easy for Morgado to go back. And after 5 minutes, it's goalless. And it's very tight in this second semi-final. The winners playing France in Saturday's final. Tikhonov and Shelayev mop up for the all-in-red Russians. But Baron wins it back in a dangerous position on the left. Baron being forced by Loktionov against the boards on the near side. The boards on the side of the field, all angled away from the players. So when they do collide, just there, Morgado doing that. Doesn't hurt as much as if they were 90 degrees vertical. Morgado there looked like he was just shoved to the floor by Ivanov. And it will be a foul, waiting for the referee to give the decision, and it will be a foul for, looks like it's going to be for the Russian team. That's going to be a personal foul. And you can see there on the far side, the one being held up. It's the first personal foul there for the Frenchman, number 8. And that's David Laber. It doesn't go against the team, though. It's just a personal foul because he was obstructing the players, and an obstruction is a personal foul only. Also holding on to the boards as well. If you're holding on to the boards and obstructing, then you're using too much of those kickboards. Holding on with both hands, that's another personal foul. Doesn't go against the team. Here goes Baron, though, rampaging over the halfway line. Can't pick it up again on the edge of the D, and it's cleared once again by Russia. Up to halfway, goalless after 5 minutes.
Yeah, really intriguing contest so far. Of course, the winners playing Spain in the final on Saturday night after Spain beat England on penalties earlier on. Baron down the left-hand side, trying to get towards the byline, comes inside of Kickoff. He gets past one red shirt, tries to shoot through another, locked in off. Really good defender, the Russian captain, and again standing in Baron's way. Baron down the left, trying to create something here, not too far away from the byline, just flicks it backwards towards Lebert. Lebert on the edge of the attacking zone, a couple of men coming towards him, he gets past two of them, goes on the outside, goes for a shot from an ambitious angle, and it drifts wide of Yakovlev's near post. So Yakovlev will start from the back, just slowly plonking the ball down with the right hand downwards into Tikhonov's path, just on the edge of his own centre circle. He's aware that there's not many players around him. He'll be being told by the sideline. Plays it towards the right-hand side for Shaliev. Shaliev managed to keep it in towards the byline, clashes into the goalkeeper there, as did, I think, Riviere as well, who's just holding the side of his face as he went into the post. But at the other end, France can now come forward over halfway with Baron's angled ball towards the far side of Magado. First real touch from Magado, having to come into his own half now. Falls momentarily over the ball and then plays it back to the left just over halfway is Baron. Two French players up there. Baron with a lovely, accurate ball straight onto the head of Magado. Really good play from Baron, of course, listening out there for the call from his fellow forward. Magado's then got support from France and Lebert. France really playing with confidence here. Lebert, right-hand side, trying to get past Loktionov. Good play from the bustly Russian defender on that far side, trying to swing with the ball. Lebert in his back all the way. Good tackle from Lebert on Loktionov, but both of them not the sort of players who want to give this up. Loktionov coming out on top, goes down the left-hand side, worms his way inside of Magado, goes down under a challenge. The referee says no free kick, and then Baron comes down the other end, left-hand side. Baron, really good run from him. He's barraged in the end by Shaliev, who comes down the other end, past Magado, left-hand side. Only man up here for Russia is Shaliev, in towards the front side of the penalty area on the left. It's then well won by Lebert, then backheels it towards his goalkeeper inadvertently, and it will be a corner for Russia on the left-hand side. So a real scrappy feel to this game, and Russia are definitely having to fight hard in order to stay in it. However, France playing with some confidence, some good passes a few moments ago. At the moment, the referee's just making sure the post is on the goal line. Of course, we had that collision with Riviere and the front post a few moments ago, but the official is able now to make sure that it's on that yellow line. The thumbs are raised, and we are ready for the corner on the left. Ivanov coming towards the front post, left side of the area, clashes head on with his opposite number, Magado. It comes off Magado last, I thought, but it's actually Ivanov, and it will be France ball. Royer just bowling it over halfway down the left-hand side, and Baron. Shaliev looked as if he got there first, but Baron goes all the way. Real chance, Baron just shanked it wide with the inside the left foot. Probably would have been better to go with the right there in a central position, just in front of the goal area, around 3 metres out. Best chance of the game. Baron puts it wide.
Fabulous play by Baron. Managed to nutmeg the captain of Russia, Loktionov, and then as he was coming from the left, swung a left boot and basically passed it into the direction he was going, past the goal, and the drone and the hands to the face of the crowd behind that goal. Plenty of blue French shirts in the crowd, and it remains goalless. Long throw down the right, can't find the French number 9 Morgado, and it's brought out by his opposite number, Ivanov, who goes to ground under a tackle by Labert. Now this will be a free kick, and it will be another French team foul. This will be the third, and once again, if you're watching blind football for the first time, you're allowed 5 team fouls per half. Any more than that, and it will go to an 8-metre penalty kick. And you can follow us at Euro 2017 Berlin, or using the hashtag #TheSoundOfFootball if you do send us a question about the sport, about the players. We've already answered quite a few on there. The last one was actually regarding personal fouls and team fouls. Substitution here, you can see Iganov coming on, number 6 that is. And number 6 is Nikita Igorov. There is Denis Igorov as well. Ivanov taken off after that foul. But yeah, the difference between a team foul, personal foul. Personal fouls are for against the person, they are for acts of obstruction and for holding on to the boards. And a team foul would be for a foul or for a voy against the team, and you only allowed 5 of those. So you can have 5 personal fouls, and Once you get to the 5th, then you'll be asked to leave play. You can be substituted. A tackle on the far side again in front of the dugouts, and that's going to be another team foul. Again, it was a trip, which will go against the team, and that will be the 4th French team foul. Yeah, and it'll also go against Morgado, number 9. And again, once he gets to 5 personal, then it will be, again, he'll be asked to leave play. Now, the ball itself, a size 4 football. So one size smaller than a size 5 that you're maybe used to playing 11-a-side football with, and they're listening out for the shake of ball bearings inside a UFO-shaped tin disc that's inside the football. It's the 4th team foul there for France. Silence in the stadium, obviously the players are looking out, and they need to shout void. Void basically means I am here, and if you don't shout void and there's a collision, then you give away a foul. Doesn't matter whether you've got the ball or not. Shaliev gets brought down, and this will be the 5th team foul for France. And there is only 7 minutes and 27 seconds gone in this first half. It's 20 minutes each way. The time stops after every incident. It's a yellow card for Morgado. It's his 2nd foul in the last 2 seconds. And, well, France, they've given away 5 team fouls now. Any more team fouls, it will result in an 8-metre penalty kick. Doesn't matter where the foul is committed on the field, it will be a 8-metre penalty kick. A yellow card given to Morgado, and France are in all sorts of trouble in terms of fouls committed. It's goalless still, but they've got to get to 20 minutes, and then those 5 team fouls will be wiped from the record, and they'll start again in the second half. That's a lot of time. 12.5 minutes to survive with 5 team fouls. Again, the time is stopped after every infringement, even going off for a goal kick or a corner, the time stops. So that's a long time to survive. And also Russia have a free kick.
So what can Russia do? Can they really do some damage? Shaliev from distance shoots well wide of the French goal. And a timeout has been called from France, and I think this is an opportunity for their coach Samir Gassama just to stand with the players, talk to them, give them some fluids, and also say, you need to be careful. Yes, we're passionate. Yes, we're glad we're here. Yes, we want to make sure we commit and fight for the spot in the final, but you do not want to give away an 8-metre penalty against a Russia side who are more than capable of being able to score from outfield, let alone being gifted an 8-metre penalty.
And also, the team fouls that have been committed by France, for my memory, they have been trips. They've not been accidental collisions that's just gone one way, or a tackle that's been maybe half a second behind play and brought a play down. They've been quite cynical, actually, fouls. They've been quite clear-cut and very obvious indeed. So, ill-disciplined by the French. Obviously, good play by Russia. But it's a long time, 12.5 minutes to get to half-time. And there's discussions on both bench. So with France, it will be, let's try and get to half-time, or let's just carry on playing and almost put that out of our minds. Be mindful, if you're going to go in for a tackle, maybe a bit more jockeying than going in to try and win the ball. But you can't play just defensive and contain blind football for 12.5 minutes, especially against a team like Russia. Lovely view downfield there. You can see the site that we're in the centre of Berlin. There's the ruins of an old railway station, one of the biggest in Europe in its time, and we're currently on the, what would have been the line actually, right in the heart of Berlin, under the lights. And from the scoreboard end, France just roll it out to Labert. Slowly makes his way to halfway. Ball forward is poor, and out for a goal kick. And well, the longer the time the ball is in play and the time is counting down, the better for the French. Long throw out by Russia, all in red, shooting from left to right against France from right to left in this second semi-final. The winners play Spain, sorry, on Saturday, and it's Shaliev down the right kickboard, being hustled by the French midfield and pushed back into his own half. Now he turns and runs straight down the centre, past the broken line, goes to ground. Maybe a bit of almost play acting there by Shaliev. He went down quite easy, maybe playing for possibly a team foul and a penalty. That happens when a team's on 5 fouls. But here come France down the other end. Morgado has given away plenty of those fouls already. Just has to check back and gain control of the football once again. Squares over to Maron, who's on the right-hand side. Baron's normally on the left, but this time he's got plenty of company. The red of Russia really keeping a close watch on the dangerous number 6 of France, tussling by the corner, runs out for a goal kick.
Good defending once again from Loktinov, who for me has been one of the players of the tournament so far, the Russian captain. He's been exceptional. Nikita Egorov down the right-hand side for Russia. Manages to win a corner. Quite a lanky figure is Nikita Egorov, and one thing I have to say about him, he does lack confidence. He is a youngster, and he's just being bedded into international life in a Russian jersey. And he's slowly coming into his own in this game since coming on as a first-half substitute. Only 8 minutes 45 gone in this first half. Of course, each half lasts 20 minutes. And the clock stops every time the ball goes out of play, which is why it feels like it's been going on for such a long time. And France will certainly want the seconds to tick down quicker with those 5 X's under their name. They know that they are on the verge of giving away an 8-metre penalty if they're not careful. Baron bustles his way down the other end, and it's a goalkeeper's ball given, although a corner was indicated by one of the officials, but the other one decides it is a goalkeeper's ball, and I think that fooled a couple of Russian defenders there. Eventually Yakovlev throws it towards the left-hand side. Well done by Labar, coming over the halfway line. He's got Shelyev in his back. Shelyev never gives up, but Labar's very strong indeed. Labar going out towards the far side, the right now, clatters into the kickboard, then plays a nice flick ball towards the near side, just bounces off the top of the kickboard, and now Baron controls it. Left side of the area, in front of him is Tikhonov. Baron, lovely bit of footwork, into the area goes, drifts out too far to the right to get a shot away, but manages to win a corner. Baron there, mesmerising footwork to waltz his way into the left-hand side of the penalty area, past Loktinov and Tikhonov, which I don't think anybody has been able to do so far in these championships. Corner for France on the right-hand side. Magado with Baron, and Lebert just lurking on the edge of the attacking zone as well. Magado, right side of the area, great footwork from him, checks back onto the right foot, gets past Shelyev, it's forced out wide though, and in fact Magado's more concerned by Shelyev than he is the ball, trying to locate it. Loktinov does, no problem at all. Then they're forced up towards the kickboard on the far side. Of course, after 5 seconds, the ball has to be moved and someone will concede a free kick. Eventually the ball does move, and now Tikhonov, who has to just turn away, does really well alongside his own byline there. Good communication from the goalkeeper as well, enabling him to keep it in, get it forward and set Russia down the other end. Egorov trying to battle and bustle away with River. Yeah, does so as well. Great play from Egorov. Can he get past the bar? The answer is no. Goes out for a goalkeeper's ball, and it looks like we're going to have a substitution as well. That will be Egorov's last bit of action there, but good experience for Nikita Egorov, of course, playing in a semi-final for Russia, the youngster, and he'll be replaced now by the much more experienced Evgeny Ivanov.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes gone of France in 5 penalty time, as I'm going to call it. They got 5 penalties against them, and they had 12.5 minutes to survive. They've done 2.5 minutes of those. There's 10 minutes left of this first half, and they've done well, have the French, not just to limit Russia to a goalless draw at the moment, but also they put pressure on in the attacking sense. Baron on the left, the main attack for France, wearing the captain's armband, goes down the left. He's got 4 Russian players with him, bulldozes past men, and then can't get a clean shot on goal. He actually swung his left boot at the goalkeeper. Obviously didn't know the goalkeeper was there, and he's not too happy at all, the Russian number 1, Anton Ikarlov, saying to one of the officials, look, he stuck a leg out again when I had the ball. There's a Frenchman down on the floor, and that's look at that number 8, David Labert. And yes, obviously the ball running towards the goalkeeping square. Here's a replay of the incident. The referee just blocking our view. Looked like he just tripped over the Russian player who was on the floor already, and he's hit his head on the kickboard. This is Baron, so he gets his way into the D. Now he takes his first shot, swing and a miss. Now he goes again where the goalkeeper's already got the ball. Obviously the coach behind the goal should have shouted, but it happens so quickly. Sometimes that happens. That's why you need to be extremely brave to be a goalkeeper in blind football. It's going to be a drop ball, so Lebert is absolutely fine. Drop ball against the kickboard, and the game's back underway inside the French half. And once again, Baron misses his kick, this time on the edge of his own D. Pushed out on the left-hand side is Tikhonov, and how that wasn't given a free kick, I'm not entirely sure. Tikhonov has still got the ball though, goes back, lovely little Marseille roulette, tries to, is he going to have a left-footed shot from the edge of the D? Yes, he does, and it's wide of the right-hand post. Lovely play by the number 3, Tikhonov, with a Marseille roulette, the first of the game on the edge of the D, one of the tactics used in blind football. Long throw downfield, blocked again by the Russian defence, and now it's wave after wave off the Russian attack. It's Ivanov who goes down under pressure from Baron. Again, maybe slightly too easy because of those 5 team fouls. And now it's Morgado up to halfway, straight down centre, past one, past the second. He now goes to the right. He can swing his right boot at it, doesn't get good connection, and it rolls through to the goalkeeper. End to end in this second semi-final. Ivanov on the halfway, goes down on one knee, controls, now drifts towards the centre. He's in the centre circle, and he's the only player going forward for Russia at the moment. He plays it out on the right where Shaliev has now gone forward, and the number 8 Shaliev has the ball for Russia, and it's going to be a free kick against Shaliev and Russia. Now the referee comes to the halfway line to explain the decision, and it's going to be for, I'd imagine, a volley not being called. He holds up 8 fingers to say a foul by number 8, and yes, it's for volley not shouted. So when the ball was played to Shaliev, player came over to try and tackle him, and Shaliev didn't say volley, and hence the free kick and a team foul given against Russia, and the free kick to France. 11 minutes and 33 seconds gone in this first half of the second semi-final. The winners play Spain in the final on Saturday. The losers will go into a third, fourth place playoff against England after that dramatic first semi-final where England, as the ball's downfield inside the D, shot by Baron, saved by the goalkeeper. Baron again on the right-hand side of the D, picks it up. He's got Baron for company, but Baron goes back to the broken line on the right and changes play to the left. There's a stop because of the goalkeeper being injured. So the goalkeeper's down inside his penalty square. Looks like he's winded or taken a blow to the midriff. But yeah, this second semi-final after a dramatic penalty shootout in the first, and the play has been stopped. So Anton Ikalov can get some treatment onto the field. He's getting to his feet. He just looks like he's slightly winded at the moment, shaking his head, but he's okay. And a round of applause for the goalkeeper for Russia. Now, in blind football, when a player goes down for an injury, what generally happens is the ball gets given to the opposition and they'll just play it downfield for a goalkeeping restart for the team who had possession. Now, it appears that's going to happen. So he's going to drop the ball, and now Russia will play it downfield for French to have the ball. And again, a polite round of applause here for that sportsmanship shown. Now, the goalkeeper for France, who's Julien Royer, rolls it out to Lebert on the left. He's got options to his right. He's just going to dribble up to halfway, play it down the left for Baron. Baron can't win that, and it rolls through to Ikalov, who looks like he's okay as he throws the ball down to Shaliev, who doesn't control first time asking. Baron gets back, wins the ball for France. He likes to operate down the left. He's up to halfway, plays it across for Morgado, who has to go back to his own half to pick the ball up. He does so, tries to play it over to Baron. Second time Vatskin finds the bold number 6, who's again in that final third. He's going to drift inside. He's failed to have his shooting boots on so far, Baron, but maybe it's only a matter of time. From the right, Morgado drifts in, goes over, nothing given. Ball's loose on the edge of the Russian D, and it's cleared up to halfway.
Lebert, the ball just rolls under his foot, so he has to retreat quite deep inside his own half. Kickoff comes across, and the referee says that's a free kick. Now, he may have been forceful in the tackle there, Kickoff, but I did think he won the ball on the edge of the French area. We'll have to wait and see the replay of that one. A lot of momentum from Kickoff there, taking him through into Lebert. And as you can see now, Lebert just with his arms out, just making sure there's no one's around him, tries to take control of the ball and was not expecting that, and maybe it was because no volley was called, because he certainly seemed to win the ball, and Lebert was on the floor there in a big heap, and it'll be a free kick for France.
I'm not too sure. I think he cleaned the player out. I think he completely took the French defender out and missed the ball completely.
I don't think we had official say in front of us, Pete, and you were just saying that.
Surely not. Corner to Russia on the right-hand side. We're very lucky, actually, in this IBSA Blind Football European Championships. We've got the best officials in the world here in Berlin for this 10 days of fantastic blind football with the semi-finals on a knife edge. We've had a penalty shootout in the first, won by Spain. We've got a goalless but very interesting first 12 minutes and 54 seconds. France, remember, on 5 penalty fouls. Chaliev tries to play it into the D. He's going to have a second opportunity, pushes Baron to the ground, and now France can come up. And well, there was a moment there where it could have been a break for France. They've still got the ball through Lebert on halfway into the opposition half. It's a one-man attack so far. Lebert into the D. Can he flick it over the goalkeeper? He tries, and it hits the goalkeeper's chest and goes out for a corner. Good play there by Lebert. The French coach behind the goal must have said, just flick it high, and he tried it from close range and an acute angle, and just failed. But good goalkeeping and good play by Lebert.
France have been the better team in terms of creating opportunities in this game, you have to be honest. And because of this bit of action here, Lebert, maybe you could say the goalkeeper's fingertips were slightly outside the area, but that would have been very harsh indeed to give a penalty for that. The corner is taken. It's now over to the far side. The right as Baron has run from left to right. He then tries to come towards Chaliev, but Baron will make sure that Chaliev has his match here. Russia are being kept inside their own defensive zone at the moment. That's because of the pressure of Baron, who gets the ball on the right-hand side. 3 men in front of him. Charges towards the area. Well won by Tikhonov on the edge of the box. Chaliev then falls over. Baron on a heap on the edge of the area. Tikhonov plays it down the line, goes up towards the halfway mark. Lebert will retreat and win possession back. Tikhonov this time a bit more cautious with the challenge, so Lebert can easily skip past him over halfway. Good ball towards the left-hand side of Baron. First touch was heavy and it takes it out of play alongside the left touchline, over the byline and out for a Russian ball. And I do say that France have created more opportunities in this game, but Russia will be disappointed, and you do feel that they have another couple of gears to go up to should that be required. It may have to be soon. Chaliev collides into Magado. Magado is holding his left ankle at the moment on the floor on the edge of the 8-metre penalty spot. He seems in some real discomfort here as Chaliev wriggled his way through. Oh, the knee goes onto the left ankle of Magado there, completely twisting it, and Magado will be very fortunate to continue in this one. Well, hopefully we'll get another replay of that, because the knee goes right into the left ankle of Magado, and a horrible twist there that could really have caused some serious damage.
Yes, let's have another look at this. Look away if you are squeamish, because the knee goes onto the ankle twists over, and Magado is on the ground. The magic spray is out, and it's going to have to be very magic indeed, because Magado's writhing around in agony. He's trying to get to his feet, and he can be substituted. In fact, the coach makes the universal substitution movement by turning his hands over and over, and Magado limps off. Now, we did see Martin actually limp off for Spain, but he's been helped off. Can't put any weight on it whatsoever. I think that might be the end of Magado for this game. Fingers crossed for him that he can get back on the field, or even play in either the final or the third place playoff, depending on the outcome of this match. Now, 5 minutes and 47 seconds remaining, and France have done very well for saying that they've had these 5 team fouls to not concede any more. Now, it was with Russia when play was stopped, so France just knocked the ball out for a Russian goal kick. You can see there Magado just testing out the ankle, and well, it looks slightly more optimistic. Goal kick for Russia. Downfield now, Baron picks it up and just failed to control the ball. If he did, he would have been quite a lot of room in front of him to run into. As it is, Chaliev has it for Russia. He loses out to Lebert, and Lebert goes down the right. In fact, just plays it down the right, but that's normally where Magado would be. But obviously, he's off the field of play. Arazeki's on for France now. He's slightly more defensive for France, but Magado is more of a burying and a burying type of player who goes into defence. A much more taller and broader individual is Arazeki. Won back by Ivanov for Russia in the all-red, shooting to the right. He stops by the kickboard, goes back, and now he's been forced back by Baron to the halfway line. They've done very well, France, to stem the tide of what were the perceived favourites in this game. And I mentioned to Alan March before the game, it depends on what France turn up. Is it the France who drew against Romania, or is it going to be the France that absolutely demolished the Italians? Well, at the moment, it is the latter of the two. It is the one that beat Italy, because they're holding a very good Russian side to 0-0 at the moment. And as you said also, Jono, the fact that they've had the better chances, the French.
They certainly have, and they can come forward again and create another one. Baron down the left, scampers towards left corner of the box, gets past Lokhtanov, but got too much of a heavy connection on the ball, goes behind for the goalkeeper's ball. Look at the left ankle of Morgado in blue, twisting over there due to Shalayeva's impact. And that is an excruciating bit of pain that Morgado would have suffered there. The other end now, it's Baron coming over halfway, left-hand side, checks inside and then flips the ball towards the far side, and Arazeki turns down the right. He then returns the favour by flicking it back to Baron. Left-hand side, cutting inside onto the right foot. Might be a chance for a shot here, collides into Ivanov, and the referee's given a free kick. I'm presuming again that no volley was called that time around, and therefore it will be another foul against the team, which should be a third against Russia. And of course, France have got the 5th Red Cross under their name, and Russia are getting very close to that point as well. The Russians will be soon making a substitution on the far side, and it will be Evgeny Ivanov who will be coming off the field. That was his first team foul, but that will be enough as far as his contribution to this game will be concerned for now. So the referee will just take him away from the wall that currently Russia are assembling in order to defend the upcoming free kick. But coming onto the pitch will once again be Nikita Regorov, and the fact that Denis Egorov, the top scorer for Russia in this tournament, has still not come onto the field of play signifies to me that the injury he suffered in Russia's last match was a serious one, and they are not going to use him unless they really, really have to. If France score this, then that'll certainly put the cats amongst the pigeons in terms of that debate. So a free kick for Le Bleu now, 8 yards out, just right of centre. Baron stood behind Arazeki, and if Arazeki just strike this, as I think he will do at the 4-man Russian wall, then they will certainly know about it if it hits them. The guard behind the goal, Manuel Morgado, just remonstrating with the officials at the moment, saying that Yakovlev may be communicating with his wall. Of course, after the guide is touching the post, Yakovlev is not allowed to talk to his defenders and put off the French players taking the set piece. So Morgado taps the left post, now he taps the right as well. Very solid din that from the woodwork. So 8 metres out, chance for France. Arazeki on the right foot, shoots low into the feet of the wall, and Egorov, the substitute, manages to just kick it away towards the left-hand side. Labar lets the ball roll past him on halfway, now scampers down the right-hand side, Tikhonov in his back, but Labar still carries on, tries to play the ball square in field, but it's broken up by Shevlev, who comes over the halfway line, diagonally towards the near side, the right. I think the last touch came off Baron, you know. The referee agrees, and it will be a corner on the near side for Russia.
Eagle eyes, Jonathan next to me in the commentary box saw the French boot come out, and it will be this corner to Russia on the right. And again, Russia piling forward, but France with the better chances in this first half. Remains goalless as we approach the half-time mark. We want to take him. Ivanov comes across and gets tackled straight away. Baron's there for France, trying to push the ball to halfway. Labert as well. It's now up over halfway for France. Well controlled by Tikhonov, who just tries to play it again down the right-hand side. Quite a scrappy game, I would describe it as being. On the halfway line again, Baron plays it over to the right. Can it be controlled by Arazeki? Yes, it can. Inside the centre circle, Arazeki come forward, knocks over a Russian player with Baron again on halfway, on the left, back inside his own half, got the ball under control, switches play to the right, Arazeki on the right, Baron on the left. Arazeki falls to the ground and gets up and runs back inside his own half to pick it up, but Labert has it. No one near him for Russia at the moment. Labert can turn on the edge of his own D, squares it, a good ball actually over to the right kickboard, but Shalayev is back. Arazeki just momentarily lost position of the ball, and that's going to run towards the goalkeeping square of Russia, and a side-footed ball out by the keeper down the left to try and find Arazeki. And there's Morgado, who's getting some ice onto his ankle. Still be amazed if he's on the field at some point. Baron on the left, just a touch by Tikhonov. Baron switches play, Arazeki on the right. Again, France just looking to try and create an opening by switching play left to right, right to left in this first half. Arazeki on the edge of the D now, can't get a clear shot at goal, has to go back to the broken line. Can he turn? He back heel, that's a Very interesting back heel towards the halfway line, quite risky as well. Could have easily been picked up by either Igorov or Tikhonov. Collision inside the centre circle. It's going to be a free kick to France. It's going to be a team foul against Russia. And well, the player is still on the ground. There's Morgado. So he's testing out his ankle. And this is the collision between Labert and just falls to the ground after the collision by Nikita Igorov. No void called as well. So that's a number of fouls in this game so far, that with no void. And now it's 4 for Russia. So 4 for Russia and 5 for France. Still just under 2 minutes remaining. Still plenty of time for goals and more fouls to be committed. French free kick inside the centre circle. It's with Labert. Some members of the victorious Spanish side, there's a substitution going to take place, have just made their way into the stadium, including Pedro Gutierrez, the goalkeeper for Spain and ultimately the hero of that penalty shootout. Polite round of applause for Nikita Igorov, who goes off the field. And coming onto the field once again is Ivanov, the number 9. Rolling substitutions in blind football. You're allowed 6 per half. And this free kick for Labert in France inside the centre circle. Scoop ball up to the edge of the D, trying to find Arazeki. Comes off a red boot and it goes out for a corner to France on the left. Corner to France. It's going to be Arazeki alongside Baron. All the players back in the D for Russia. There's 2 French players inside the centre circle, so not committing that many forward. Arazeki from the left. Dummies a right-footed shot. He's into the D, but he's just getting crowded out by the Russian defence. They're going to have to work there. There's a foul there committed and pushing on the back of a Russian number 8, Shelev, by Baron, and that's going to be the 6th personal foul, the 6th team foul, shall I say, for France, and it will be an 8-metre penalty kick for Russia. So it was pushing on the back. That is the 6th. It's taken them a while to do that. A good 10 minutes or so that the French have lived in a dangerous position with those 5 team fouls. Eventually, they've conceded the 6th, pushing by Baron on the back of Shelaev, and we've got an 8-metre penalty kick. So this penalty for Russia. It's going to be number 4, which is Alexei Loktinov. He is the captain of Russia. A glorious chance. The Russian guide behind the goal, talking to his player. They're now saying exactly which way he's facing. Loktinov from the spot, into the roof of the net from 8 metres. What a penalty. Nothing the goalkeeper can do about that. It's taken 18 minutes and 17 seconds of the first half of the second semi-final, and the deadlock has been broken. From the 8-metre spot, it's Russia 1, France 0.
And it's the man with the captain's armband as well that does it. And look at that for a right-footed effort. Couldn't have been any higher in Julian Royer's net. Almost took the netting off the back of the goal frame there. Superb spot kick from Alexei Loktinov, who opened the scoring in what has been a very tight game indeed. I'd say France have shaded this one, and France from the kick will look to charge down the left-hand side. Baron tries to get towards the byline, then checks back. All the Russian players are back around the edge of their own area, and Shelev can break away from them. Now he's won the ball down the left-hand side, tries to get down the middle. Labar wins the ball on the edge of his own centre circle. France unfortunate to be behind, but they're going to have to press forward here. Labar on the left-hand side, pirouetting away from a couple of players, then a bit of a theatrical fall as he goes to the ground on the edge of the attacking zone, but it will be a foul in his favour, and this should be the 15th foul against Russia, and very soon they are going to replicate the favour that France have just given them here. So it is indeed a 15th foul of the game, and the red flag on the referee's bench on the far side will soon be put onto the desk, and Russia 1 team foul away from giving away an 8-metre penalty. So France with a free kick, left of centre on the broken line, and It's Riviere stood behind Baron. France have everyone back on the edge of their own penalty area. So tense moments in the game. 2 those 2 red flags on your screen. So Lebert stood with hands on hips. Will roll the ball forward for Baron, and can France immediately respond? Baron onto the right foot, dead central, shoots, and he loses his balance, and it just spins wide off the outside of his right foot, out of play, near the corner rather than anything, and Yakovlev can throw it forward for Russia.
Yeah, long throw downfield for Russia, of course. Now both sides on 5 team fouls. Well controlled in the D by Shaliev. Shoots from point-blank range. Good save by the goalkeeper. Spread himself well. Falling to the ground, Shaliev and Baron. It's with Shaliev on the right. Drifts over to a more central position. Was he tripped? No. Was Baron tripped? No. It's Shaliev still with the ball. Edge of the D from the 8-metre spot. Shaliev drifts to the left, and it's tackled by Arazeki. He goes back towards his own goal line. Arazeki's going to have to turn, and he just swipes it down the left. That's a good crossfield ball to find Baron. Baron now inside the centre circle. Starts a major dribble down the left. He's beaten 2 players already. Straight towards the edge of the D. Real chance here for Baron. Shoots into the back of the net and scores. Baron's equalised for France. A mazy dribble into the D from the halfway line. And this time Baron's got his shooting boots on. He finds the back of the net. It's the equaliser at the end of the first half of the second semi-final. It's Russia 1, France 1.
Colossal goal for France, who managed to gain parity right at the end of this first period. Both captains now on the score sheet, and Baron there, I have to say, outdoing Loktionov with that goal. A wonderful, mazy solo run. Managed to get past all 4 of the Russian defenders before sticking it away in Yakovlev's bottom left corner. A massive goal for Baron, and we're all square here, not just on team fouls, but now on the goals as well. 30 seconds to go at the end of this first period, and Baron immediately winning the ball back, goes down under the challenge of Ivanov. No foul according to the referee, and the ball comes towards the near side. Baron battles away with Shaliev. Shaliev turns away from him very well indeed. Shaliev then stands on the ball on the edge of his own centre circle. Lebert comes back for a bit more action, and then it is swung by Shaliev towards the far side, and Arazeki can pick it up right on the right hand side on the edge of his own defensive zone. Just swings the foot at it towards the near side, and Baron just on the halfway line, goes inside of Shaliev. Good play from Baron once again, and the half-time whistle has blown in what I have to say has been a very even first half, and that late goal from Baron levelling things up certainly is well deserved, because nothing has really separated these 2 sides, who end the first period on 5 team fouls each, which I think replicates just how feisty this one has been. Both teams well aware of exactly what is at stake. A place against France in the final of this competition on Saturday night. It is still finally in the balance. Russia looked as if they were going into the half-time interval ahead after a penalty from Alexei Loktionov with the right foot, went into the roof of Julian Royer's net just 90 seconds before the half-time whistle. But Martin Baron, the captain, went down the other end with a beautiful, mazy run towards the right side of the area before sticking it low past Anton Yakovlev into his bottom left-hand corner. It means in this second semi-final of the day here in Berlin is very nicely poised indeed. Russia 1, France 1.
Well, you wait 18 minutes in the world of blind football for a goal, you get 2 right on half-time. We said this might be nice and tense and tight. I actually thought once France had conceded a goal, they might just dip a little bit and Russia would take control. Not to be the case. Martin Baron scored another absolutely superb goal in the world of blind football.
Yeah, I mentioned before the game which France are going to turn up. Is it going to be the team that turned over Italy, or is it going to be the team that drew against Romania? It's the team that beat Italy. They've been superb. They committed 5 team fouls. They had to hold on for 12.5 minutes, and they conceded 1 8-metre penalty kick after that. And that was at the end, which was scored by Loktionov, the captain for Russia. But before that, France had the better chances. Baron hasn't got his shooting boots on until that last minute, where he scored a lovely mazy dribble and a shot into the right-hand post. And well, France, I think, are unfortunate to be going level. They've had the better chances. Russia have had more of the play, but because of those 5 team fouls, I think that's what's limited France. They've had to just maintain and contain Russia in that first half. Now they go in half-time 1-1, I think they'll be full of confidence.
Any goal with a Megs in it is worth watching again. Let's take a look at the highlights of that first half. This is Martin Baron early on. Great save down low to his right-hand side.
Yeah, this is what I was saying with Baron. He's had a few chances wide of the right-hand post there. Another shot goes wide. An easy save for the goalkeeper. Again, missed the ball there. He's had plenty of opportunities. He's their main goal threat for France. The goalkeeper not too happy, saying that he had a second opportunity. And a nice little flick there by Lobert, trying to scoop it over the goalkeeper. And, well, this is a Sheliev going forward. And there's an injury here to the number 9, Morgado. And his knee collided with his ankle, went over on his ankle, and he's been taken off the field, and I'll be amazed if he comes back on.
Yeah, Sheliev falling awkwardly under a challenge, to be fair to him, and then accidentally landing on the ankle. So we'll try and bring you a report on his health a little bit later on. And Baron, though, is constantly a threat in that France number 6 shirt. But after 5 team fouls and an 8-metre penalty was tucked away beautifully high into the net, I think you feel like the French keeper, because that's straight at him in theory, you want him to do better there, don't you?
Yeah, Julien Royer took one step to his right, the ball went slightly to his left, so he had to correct himself, couldn't put an arm up and stop it from going in, and that was the deadlock broken. Just goes slightly to his right, then he goes, oh no, it's to my left. Stick a left hand out and can't stop it from going in. So the deadlock was broken. That was the first 8-metre foul, an 8-metre penalty that Russia had. Here's another angle.
Yeah, you have to say, a penalty hit straight down the middle really should be saved, but it's just to his right-hand side. Well, this is the finish from Baron, and it's so low, so hard that Yakolev can't get anywhere near it. So it's the captain, Lokdianov, who gets the goal. Yakolev can't stop Baron from taking an equaliser from them as well, and that is where we are at half-time. Who will play Spain? Yes, if you're just joining us, who will play Spain in the final of these European Championships? You want to know how Spain got there? Take a look at these highlights, which you might not believe. So England started the second half, Pete, just how they would have wanted. Just 6 minutes in, and they got their second goal.
Yeah, they got the second goal, and to be honest, at that moment it looked like it was all over. It looked like England might go on and score more. Karen Seal just caressing the ball into the far post with his instep, and well, everything was rosy in the garden of England, but Spain came back. They were always in the game, they always had chances, and Acosta going to ground, getting back the ball, and then again, right-footed shot. Great save by the goalkeeper, Dan James. More on him in a minute.
Yeah, Dan James has had a tremendous tournament. Hadn't conceded a goal until this game, but he worked pretty hard at keeping that statistic going as well. Great left-handed save onto the post from Acosta, and it was looking, as Peter said, like it was going their way. Off the post and the back of the keeper's hand on this occasion here from England.
Yeah, Robin Williams with the free kick, and unlucky there for Robin Williams. It hit the post and then hit the goalkeeper's arm. Another good handling from goalkeeper Dan James. Big man as well, so to get down low and also to keep hold of the ball is very important. And with 6 minutes remaining, in fact 5 minutes remaining, Spain get back into it. Acosta finally beating Dan James, so 5 minutes to go. England 2, Spain 1.
So a low drive into the bottom right-hand corner for Dan James's net. Nothing he could do about it. The coach has already been sent off at this point. Again, if you're watching these highlights, you haven't seen the game early on. We'll try and get clarification whether he's allowed on the touchline during the final or not. We'll figure that out once we've spoken to the referees a little bit later this evening. It's through one set of legs, and again, and James just stretched it out. As the ball is given away here, England look safe. There are 12 seconds on the clock, and the keeper is shouting, leave it. You even see the reaction of the young lady stood behind the goal. If you ever get a chance to see that replay again, even she is stunned. Straight over the bar from the first one. A cracker down the middle from Martin. England are back at one apiece here. El Hadoui, the captain, makes it 2-1. This to stay in the tournament. It's very English, isn't it? It's all over for England in this tournament, but you have to say Spain look pretty good. This man next to me here has said from the very start he fancied that somebody in Group B would win this competition. At the moment, France are the only people that can stop that from happening. Spain, who were runners-up in Group B, are into the final. Russia are trying to get past a very, very stubborn France. Next up in this competition, the 9th place playoff game, starting at 1:30.
Thank you very much,
So over
Alan.
to
Not
our
far to
commentary
go.
box, Jonathan Bell.
Thank you very much, Alan. Not far until we get to that massive 9th place playoff tomorrow morning between Romania and Georgia, a 1:30 kickoff. But it's all about the semi-finals right now, as France locking horns with Russia. One at half-time, of course, between these two, with Alexei Loktionov getting Russia off on the score sheet with 19 minutes gone in this game. Then in the 20th minute, Martin Baron equalised with one of the goals of the tournament. And you will get your chance to vote on goal of the tournament tomorrow when we sit down, myself, Pete, Alan, some of our German colleagues as well, and decide what the best strikes of this competition have been so far. I suspect Baron's will be up there. Will there be any more goals in the second half? I sense there will be. Very nicely poised in these between these two. 1-1 at the break. And Labar on your screen at the moment, just having his eye patch put on so that the blindfold will go over the top of it. He will be starting in this second period. A few familiar faces in the crowd at the moment as well. Paul Iobo of Italy sat in front of me. Also the goalkeeper for Spain, who produced heroics in that penalty shootout, Pedro Gutierrez. He's down not too far in front of me as well. And Jonathan Tonzing of the German team also in attendance tonight. So France will be kicking us off in the second half from left to right in all blue against France in all red. So over the ball is Aretsky, the number 5, and Baron as well. Aretsky plays the ball to Baron on the left-hand side. Good play from France earlier on the second half. Baron, of course, the goal scorer late on in the first period, wins a free kick midway inside the Russian half on the left. I think the Russian defenders stunned by the giving of that free kick, but nonetheless it will be a dead ball scenario for France on their left, and the referee is just going to the bench on the far side and indicating it's the first team foul of the second half for Russia. Of course, both teams amassed 5 each at the end of the first period. And at the rate we're going at the moment, 7 seconds into the second, and Russia already getting an X on the scoreboard. Of course, we had in the first half 6 team fouls given away by France. That 6th one there, resulting in an 8-metre penalty for the opposition. You're not allowed more than 5 hexes on the screen. So free kick for France, left-hand side, around 9 metres from goal. And the guide, Manuel Morgado, is just tapping the post on the side of the post as well, with Baron and Lebert stood over the ball. Lebert will strike straight into Loktionov. It just landed on his midriff there. I think that's winded him as well. These balls are very heavy, and the fact that it just dropped at his feet says absolutely everything. Then Tikhonov battling away towards the halfway line. France equal to it though, and Baron, good turn away from the kickball. Good start by France in the second. Here is Baron, looks for another goal. He's tripped 8 metres out there, and the referee has a decision to make. He may issue a yellow card for this, because Baron's still on the floor, and he really was looking as if he was darting towards the edge of the penalty area. It's a yellow card for Loktionov, the captain of Russia. for just sticking out the right leg and getting in between Baron's left and right leg. It sent him flailing onto the floor. Correct decision from the referee, and France with another set-piece situation. 8 metres out, just left of centre. Loktinov just doing his laces at the moment, and it will be a 4-man Russian wall. That is because everyone else for France is back behind the ball, so no other attacking threat apart from the free kick that is about to be taken. Second team foul of the second half from Russia. 26 seconds gone. That must be a new record from the tournament, even taking Georgia into the equation. So France with 2 players stood over the ball. Labar behind Arazeki, and it should be the latter you'd suspect to be striking this towards the goal. Manuel Magado will be tapping the post either side of Anton Yakovlev's net. Yakovlev is just squatted down at the moment, ready to try and save this one. It's going to be difficult. Kickoff will run towards Arazeki, who now has the ball on his right foot into the back of the net. What a start for France at the beginning of this second period. Just 28 seconds and they get themselves in front. A goal late in the first period, matched by an even quicker goal in the second. Yakovlev, who said he was squatting down, he actually went down on his right knee to save that, and that meant he could only tip the ball into the roof of the net. France have flipped this tie right on its head. Russia 1, France 2.
At half-time, I was talking to Alan and we were discussing about shots straight at the goalkeeper, and you'd be disappointed not to save it. I think that will also go down as a shot that the goalkeeper will wish he had a second opportunity to try and save. But wow, second half was an amazing start for France as Chaliev tries to turn away from the now rabid French defence, and look at them all over the ball trying to win it back, and at the moment they're trying a bit too hard and they're not trying to get not getting good connection on the ball. It's just being passed left to right by Chaliev's left and right boots, and eventually the referee blows up and just says enough is enough. That's a free kick to Russia. There's the goal scorer Arazeki, and well, what a start for France in these early seconds of the second half. 2-1 they lead. Also Russia on 2 team fouls as well. So a free kick given to Russia on the broken line. It will be the first team foul for France. 4 men in the wall. The Russian goalkeeper, the French goalkeeper Julien Royer, who is just marshalling his troops and saying to the wall exactly where he wants them. He stands over to the left-hand side of the goal from the point of view of where the free kick's going to be taken. Once again, the 2 posts have been tapped. What a start to this second half. Bit of a slow burner, the first one, but the second has started dramatically in favour of France. Instructions being given to the takers of this free kick. Tikhonov will receive the ball. He goes to the right, takes a right-footed shot, and that goes wide of the left post, and he's not happy at all with his effort on goal. Run out by the goalkeeper down the left-hand side, just hits the kickboard and goes out of play for a goal kick to Russia. Good throw downfield for Chaliev on the right, controls well inside the final third. Can't get a shot off on goal, Chaliev. He goes back to the broken line. Now he tries again to run down the right, stops just before he gets to the touchline, squares it across to the left, and Ivanov with 3 Frenchmen coming over to try and tackle him, and they do so. And there is a collision, and it's going to be a free kick, and it's on the edge of the D, almost the corner on the left-hand side, and that will be another team foul for Spain. So 2 already, and we've not had 1 minute and 19 seconds as the Russian coaches watch on. So we are well on our way of having 5 team fouls once again for each team, like we did in the first half. So it could be a matter of those 8-metre penalties once again. Russia 1, France 2. Many people would say that's a bit of an upset so far. Plenty of time remaining. Remember, it's 20 minutes each half, so we've only had 1 minute and 19 seconds of this second half. We've had a goal, we've had 4 fouls already, we've had a really good save, and we've had plenty of incidents, and we've only had 1 minute and 19 seconds. What else will we have in this match? On an amazing day of blind football here, with a penalty shootout deciding the first game. After a 2-2 draw, England were 2-1 up with only 12 seconds remaining, and an own goal taking the game to penalties. Spain going through. The winners of this game play Spain in the final on Saturday. Tikhonov, edge of the D, wild miss on the edge of the D. It was a swing with his right boot, nowhere near the ball, and Sheliev is back on the halfway line, starting another attack down the right, using the kickboard for guidance, stops on the broken line, now into the centre, goes to ground, nothing given. It's a good tackle by Lebert, who then goes down the left over the halfway line, again stopped by the broken line. In fact, he stops because he's tackled by Tikhonov, and Tikhonov on the right with Sheliev behind him. He's the only man going forward at the moment for Russia. They're going to have to commit more men forward. He's over the halfway line, stops, nice little turn and pirouette, tries to play it over to the right-hand side towards Sheliev. It might reach him actually off a French boot, and it's Baron now down the left. Of course, a third goal here will really spell trouble for Russia. Baron stops as he gets to the broken line, goes beyond that, now tries to square it, inadvertently plays it back into his own half to Lebert. Lebert's got plenty of time. Again, Russia aren't pressing at the moment, and he plays it from the right over to the halfway line and the left for Baron. He can't pick it up, and again, it's Tikhonov on the right. A bit messy at the moment in the game. Tikhonov drifts inside, doesn't go to ground actually. It's a bit of a tangle with Lebert. Lebert forceful in the tackle, but he got a good boot on the ball there. Tikhonov on the left, still not getting near the D. Goalkeeper's not really made a save in this second half for France. He might have to here as Ivanov now driving a bit more direct towards the D, and he's just pushed off towards the right-hand side. Ball runs out, and it's going to be a goalkeeping restart for France, and they can breathe a little bit easier for a few seconds. Rouet rolls down the right, tries to find Arazeki, who knocks it inside. He's going to have to kind of drift over to the left and try and pick this up, but Shaliev's there first. It was initially a good touch, a risky back pass to the goalkeeper. A little bit forceful than the goalkeeper thought. He did well actually to control and then play it down the left for Ivanov with his grey hair to try and chase. Lebert's going to try and shepherd this ball out. There's not an awful lot of pace on it, and Ivanov does very well, trying to wrestle the ball back from Lebert on the edge of the D, pushes him to the ground, and a free kick given, and it's going to be given in favour of France.
One important thing for Russia, and I said this in the first half, if it gets too bad, they will have to bring on Denis Egorov, their number 7 talisman, with 6 goals so far in these championships. With an injury in the last game on his right foot, we thought he may not be needed to be risked for this one. They could save him for the final, but he will soon be called upon. France, meanwhile, will have a free kick on the right-hand side in their own defensive zone, and that will be a third team foul against Russia. And these are racking up at a rate of knots here that must be really beginning to worry Alexander Arastov, the Russian coach. And Russia are about to make the change, where returning to the field is Denis Egorov. This is massive news for Russia. Can he be the man to turn this game around? A lot of weight of expectation on his shoulders at the moment, and coming off with Evgeny Ivanov, the number 9, who has huffed and puffed in this game but hasn't been able to yield any rewards from it. And it is France poised to be in the final against Spain. Denis Egorov, if anyone can stop them from getting there, is certainly the man to do so. So a free kick for France midway inside the own half right-hand side, played down the line by Lebar for Baron. Back to goal, a nice ball towards the far side now in Areski. Areski, the goal scorer, the second goal, bundling for a third here, swipes one towards goal. He completely missed the ball though on the edge of the area, comes towards the near side, locks it off, battling with the opposition captain Baron, who's holding the ball at the foot of the kickboard, tries to backheel it away from that area, manages second time around. Areski, slow to reaction. Egorov with his first touch of the ball in this game, trying to hold off Areski, no mean feat. He tries to still wriggle away with him. Areski not giving this one up. Egorov trying to use his tricky footwork and pace to do so. Gets past him and Lebar as well, but Lebar is back with a bang, and on the halfway line manages to regain possession. Cuts inside from the left-hand side, then switches it square towards the right. Sheliev is the first one to get there, and now it's Baron who is not letting that one up at all. You can just hear the collision on the kickboard there between those two as Sheliev drifts over halfway. He's the only man up here, goes for a shot from distance. Again, he completely miskicks the ball, and I just wonder if the adrenaline going through these players' minds at the moment is just getting to them a little bit too much, and they're just not being able to cool themselves down and get their strikes on goal. Lebar receives the ball left-hand side, switches it towards the right. a few yards behind Baron, but he does get there just short of the halfway line, then clips it down the line. It will roll harmlessly out of play for Russia, and Yakovlev will start things from the back. A big bowl down the right-hand side, and that just skims off the turf at a rapid rate and goes all the way out at the other end now for a French ball to be taken this by Royer. Bowls it down the centre underarm. Arezki just manages to get enough on it to keep it in play on the left-hand side. Loktionov coming across. Arezki just trying to usher Loktionov back towards his own byline. He's succeeding at the moment. As long as he doesn't foul, this could work out well for France. Of course, the seconds just being evaporated here, and Loktionov can do nothing about it. Backheels it away somehow. Dagorov is back there defending, but he doesn't want to be around that penalty. He wants to be up at the other end. Manages to win a goalkeeper's kick, however, and Yakovlev will take. A bit of urgency about Russia here, and now push two men over halfway. One of them, Shaliev, on the left-hand side. The ball surpasses him. It hits Riviere, though, and it now goes through to opposite number Royer. Royer balls it down the centre, looking for Arezki. Tikhonov just managing to screen his centre-back Loktionov successfully, and then Arezki goes towards the far side. A bit of a push between him and Tikhonov. The Russian certainly didn't like being barged around there by the big Frenchman, and we're just going to see a replay of that now. The referee did very well indeed to get in there quickly and cool things down before anything boiled over, because it certainly was threatening to be the case. Free kick nonetheless for Russia, however, on the right-hand side. We'll wait for the retrospective action, but a handshake between the two will conclude that mini-spat.
Yes, in-blind football, again, it's a very sporting sport, and even though there was a push out and these things happen, the two players generally then will shake hands. Quite how friendly that shake of hands can be sometimes is up to interpretation, but no, it's a very friendly sport, and especially after the game, even in a dramatic game like we had earlier on today in the first semi-final, there were shaking hands and congratulations from all players. It's 3 fouls each, and there's only 5 minutes and 37 seconds gone in this second half. France leading by 2-1. At the moment, it's going to be a rematch of the 2013 European Championship final between Spain and France, but Russia will have different thoughts about that. It's in the hands of the French goalkeeper, Julien Moret. Could throw down the right, and there's a good outlet for France now when they're in front. Someone like Baron can stay downfield, and he can also tackle back as he does on the halfway line. Gets to the broken line, but Shaliev is nothing but persistent, and he gets back and shepherds it out of play. Two warriors of their sides there, Baron for France and Shaliev for the red of Russia. From right to left, they're shooting. Left to right, they're all blue of France. Pass forward by Shaliev. Up to the broken line. Labert. Option to play it down the left. Decides to switch across to the right, where Shaliev absolutely walks into the ball, connects with it well, and inadvertently almost passes it into the feet of Baron. Shaliev goes down the right, stops before the broken line, but he's well tackled by Arezeki, and he's going to need to do plenty of that if they're going to hold on to this 2-1 advantage. He's coming forward, trying to get the third. Arezeki, the tall number 5, switches to the right, where Baron controls, barging into Shaliev as he goes down the right, stops it from going out of play. Baron, unfortunately for him, just overruns it, stopped it the first time, Vaskin, and then carried it through, and it's going to be a restart for the Russian goalkeeper.
Substitution first, however, and leaving the field will be Shaliev to be replaced by Ivanov. And Shaliev has got probably more game time in this game in one continuous run than he has in any of the group games put together. A player who certainly hasn't been favoured predominantly by Russian coach Alexander Arastov, and he's been sacrificed there to make way for Venji Ivanov, who has scored in this tournament, but not as many as he would have liked. Agorov, he is the man with the magic wand, and he goes down on the halfway line, almost dropped his wand there, and the magic hat as well, but he wins a free kick. Labar is the one giving it away, and the referee just talking to Labar here and making sure he calms down a bit, because this is certainly not the first personal foul that he has given away, and it's going to be 14 fouls in total against France. So at the moment, We are just getting confirmation of how many team fouls that is. It's 4 personal fouls for Labar and 4 team fouls as well, and these are clocking up very quickly, and France are in the exact same position as they were at this time in the first half. They managed to negotiate that just about until right at the death, where they conceded the 8-metre penalty that Loktionov scored. They can't afford to do that for a second time. Kickoff right of centre, charging towards the right hand side of the area, shot with the right foot, a low effort, well saved by the feeder Royer, out for a Russian corner on the right.
Yeah, just once again on those fouls, France have got 4 team fouls. If they have 1 more, then they will have 5, and any more after that, it means an 8-metre penalty kick. But David Lebert himself has got 4. Now, if he commits another foul, yes, it might go against the team, but it will also go against his name. Once he has 5, he has to leave the field of play. A substitute can come on, but he will have to leave the field of play and not return for the till the end of the match. Out comes Lebert, the aforementioned Lebert. Can't commit to another foul, remember. Over halfway down the right for France. He's got the ball on the edge of the D, just putting his arm out to try and find his way across the field. He's by the kickboard, which are arched away from the pitch, just in case the players run into him. And well, you don't want to run into a vertical board. You want it slightly arched away from you. It's brought off by Igonov, who's on the field, who's injured, didn't start the game, and desperation stakes at the moment for Russia. They've got a bit of time there. They've got 12 minutes left to get back into this second semi-final. If you're just joining the coverage, welcome to Blind Football. It's the semi-final stage of the IBSA Blind Football European Championships. Igonov on the edge of the D. Looks like he's limping. And the number 7 for Russia in red, shooting from right to left. France are 2-1 in front, coming down the right. And it's got a bit scrappy in the last couple of minutes. I don't think the French will mind that. Tikhonov over halfway for Russia, trying to go beyond Lebert. It came off a French boot last. No, in fact, says the referee. And it will be a goal kick to France. And Julien Royer rolls it down the left-hand side, hits off the kickboard. The winner of this game will play Spain, who beat England in a penalty shootout after England scored an own goal with only 12 seconds remaining. There's no extra time. It goes straight to penalties. Ball down the right, again will run out, and it will be a goalkeeping restart, this time for Russia. Has to bounce inside their own half, and that's going to roll down the kickboard, and it's a bit of end-to-end goalkeeping. Goalkeepers just throwing the ball to each other at the moment. Any questions you have on the sport of blind football, the sound of football is the hashtag to use on Twitter, and follow us at Euro 2017 Berlin. Long ball downfield to try and find the giant number 5 for France. And that's Hakam Arazeki. He can't stop it from going out of play, and it's with the Russian keeper. He throws it downfield, and at the moment I'm looking from left to right to left with my neck, and no one's touching the ball. It needs to find a boot of one of their teammates. This time more of an underarm throw to try and find Arazeki. He controls, and the game's really back underway. Arazeki tries to turn Ivanov. Again, another wrestling match which will suit France. Ivanov gets the better of Arazeki, tries to prod it towards goal. He was going down the left, used his right foot and just prodded it straight on, and out for another goal kick.
That's something Ivanov's done quite a lot in this tournament. He succeeded once with a goal from the left side of the area and a toe peg with the outside of the right foot. However, it didn't yield anything positive that time around. Good tackling though from the French defenders, and again going unnoticed. The number 7 for France, who I don't think either me and Pete have mentioned in this game, is Riviere. He defends so well at the back, as does Loktionov. And look at this, it's just a tussle on the edge of the penalty area. Both of them looking as if they're in the trenches at the moment, as they just try and stick a foot in there and finally get the ball away. Ivanov misses his kick completely. Loktionov then manages to clear it away, and Ivanov just seemed to give up there as he swung his right foot at the ball.
Yeah, possibly just losing the heads a little bit here are Russia. They've got plenty of time. They're only 1 goal behind with 10 minutes to go, but a bit of ill discipline coming into the team. There's been a pushing match already, and now there Ivanov just swinging a boot, and he's going to be replaced, and no wonder the number 9 for Russia. He's not happy at all. He's shaking his head, and now he's being brought off the field. I think this is a very wise move by the management of Russia. They're taking Ivanov off, who gets a polite round of applause from the crowd. He can come back on. It is rolling substitutes in blind football. You can make a maximum of 6 per half. And now coming onto the field is Shaliev, the all-action number 8.
So Russia starting things at the back. From the right as we look. And Yakovlev will throw. Just a word on Lebert as well. The number 8 for France. One more personal foul and he's off, and it's a bit of a paradox for the French coach Samir Gassama, because he's such a crucial player as Lebert, and if they take him off they could sacrifice the game, but if they keep him on then he could be taken off anyway. And of course they're allowed a substitution, so maybe they just say, look, if you concede a 5th personal foul, so be it, then we'll take you off there. Nagorov down the right-hand side, nothing really happening for him at the moment. Tries to go through the middle of Lebar and Baron. Just about manages there, Agorov, still tussling with the bar on the edge of the penalty area. Cleared away by Lebar, runs into the back of Shalayev on the halfway line. Areski going down the right now. Good tussling from Areski, and Tikhonov, who is certainly not the size of Areski. I don't think anyone in Berlin quite is. He is a absolute brute force for France. He loses possession though in the end, and now Russia have it midway inside their own half. Agorov on the right hand side trying to turn away from Baron. Agorov will have a second bite at the cherry, this time succeeds, tries to get towards the halfway line. Lebert puts his foot in. Lebert has been everywhere on the pitch, not just today but for every game for France, and he'll be one of the reasons they make the final if they do. Baron is another reason, of course. He got them back on level terms with a wonderful solo goal at the end of the first half. He just shepherds the ball back for Areski, locked in, not putting himself about at the moment. The ball squirms back inside for Baron in a central position, drifts towards the left-hand side. Agorov coming across, as does Tikhonov as well. Everyone's still back for Russia here, but then Tikhonov wins possession, and now the Reds can break forward. Lebar again in the centre, winning the ball back, pokes it with the outside of the foot towards the right-hand side. Areski trying to use the bounce off the kickball to win the ball, but Shalayev wise to the situation and turns away and nicely dribbles it towards the halfway line, drifting diagonally towards the right-hand side of the field. Everyone in his wake, right footed shot past the near post of Royer's net, but a wonderful run from Shalayev. But again, sort of summing things up from Russia. They're slowly encroaching into this game with opportunities, but not quite opening the lock for the opposition's door. Here's Agorov in the central position, drifting from right to left now, left edge of the centre circle inside the France half. It's the only one up there in the France half. He's been tasked to do this all alone. Everyone back for France. Baron all over him, marshal him successfully, and then a clash of heads between him and Shalayev. It'll be a free kick for Russia, which will be the 15th foul of the game for France. No void call from Baron, who was like a bull in a china shop, and what a ferocious bull he was as well. And straight into Shalayev's face. That's a horrible collision, and that's the second we've seen in the day like that.
Yes, and 5 team fouls, so it's deja vu all over again, because France have 5 team fouls against them with 8 minutes to go in this game. That means any more team fouls committed by France, it will be an automatic 8-metre penalty. It doesn't matter where the foul is committed. It could be in the far right-hand corner, the far left-hand corner. The ball will then move to the 8-metre penalty spot, and it will be a penalty for Russia. That's what the flag means on the far side, and also that's what the 5 crosses are below France. Russia have got 3 at the moment. Here comes Russia, who need a goal to get back into this game. 2 halves of 20 minutes, so there's only 7.5 minutes remaining. The ball is on our near left-hand side, being pushed back by France, actually. Labert does well. He's on 4 personal fouls, so if he commits a foul, and that is going against Russia, and you can see the anger there on Tikhonov. He's not happy at all. And there's been signs that Russia are starting to lose their cool. Ivanov actually has been taken off the field because of that reason. This is going to be, again, a foul for France, just to relieve a bit of pressure. And it will be the 4th for Russia. So I don't think it's going to be very long until we get a situation where both teams will have 5. It could come down to those 8-metre penalty kicks. There's the French coach just looking on, and he's got that French stance of, well, we're in front and kind of what will be, will be. There goes Arizeki. Poor pass though, tried to square it across to Baron, who falls into the back of Iganov, the Russian number 7, who's onto the field after being injured in the previous game, and he's running like he's injured as well. He's quite a quick player, but he's limping quite badly, I think. Play with the ball now, just squares it across to the goalkeeper, who can't come out of that goalkeeping square, actually. He passes it down the left-hand side for Shalayev to try and keep in. Shalayev just runs the ball out of play, and it's going to be a restart for France. And their keeper, Julien Bonner, underarm throw down the right, bowl style, off the kickboard. Can't be controlled by Arizeki, and it goes out for another restart for Russia. Long throw down the left, and that's not going to find the feet of Shalayev. And France won't mind this whatsoever. Like I said, you can see the time stopped. Again, now it will go live because the ball's in play. Again, a long throw, trying to find Baron. He can't control the ball. And at the moment, once again, the goalkeepers are just having their own little game. Up to halfway. Good control by Igonov. And this time, Russia can try and build. Baron comes across. Good tackle on the Russian number 7, who I think at the moment is more of a hindrance than a help because he's not fully fit. Tries to pass it back to the goalkeeper, does so. That's not the easiest thing in the world to do, to just gently pass the ball back to your goalkeeper. Shaliev is the all-action number 8 for Russia. Controls on the near left-hand side kickboard, goes back to the halfway line, tackled by Arizeki. He's going to try and chase this down for France. Comes back Loktinov, the captain, who scored Russia's goal from the 8-metre penalty mark after France conceded their 6th penalty foul in the first half. That might happen soon in this second with 6 minutes to go. The winners play Spain, in the final. Spain beating England on a penalty shootout, a dramatic penalty shootout, after England conceded their own goal in the dying 12 seconds of the game. Russia, at the moment, are not putting any pressure on the French goal, Jonathan.
Areski, right-hand side. Shaliev, good tackle. Can he change what Pete's just said? He goes past one player, still charging, and he was toying with the French defenders for a moment there, but slightly lost control of the ball, perhaps more focused on those in front of him rather than the ball rattling at his feet. Agorov on halfway, again Labar everywhere on the pitch. He's now hustling in the back of Agorov, has to be careful not to concede a foul. He does as well, and as soon as he gave that away, Labar, he turned around with 2 hands to his mouth because he knows that that is not only another foul against France, it's another foul against him. Labar will have to be substituted. He's booked in the process as well, and he will leave the field. And the big question here is who will replace him, because he's quite an irreplaceable figure. That is the exact reason he's been on the pitch all the way through. It's going to be an 8-metre penalty now for Russia, so France with a lot to worry about here, and Loktinov is going to have a second attempt at getting a goal for Russia. Of course, he scored the first one in the first half, and will it be 2 out of 2 for him? Substitution then as Labar comes on, and on comes Jérôme Penisson, the number 4, who scored a super goal for France against Italy, the first of the rampant 7 that France got in that game. And Loktinov is just having his eyewear checked before he takes this spot kick. Referee just having a word with him. And this is a crucial moment in the game and the championships as a whole as well. Will Russia get back on level terms in a game which they led at the back end of the first half due to a Loktinov penalty? He'll be taken right-footed by the captain. He sticks 2 arms forward, gets up off his knees, shoots, and saved by Royer. Comes back to Loktinov for another opportunity, completely scuffs his kick. Still the chance is on, he clashes heads with Baron on the edge of the penalty area, and Loktinov is down. And this is a serious injury. It will not be a foul against France, but it certainly will be a knockout blow for Loktinov.
Yeah, both players shouted voy. You have to be shouting voy at all times in blind football. Essentially means I am here. And a real sickening clash of heads on the edge of the D. Here we go with a replay. Bang! 2 players just running straight into each other. Voy was called between the 2, so they knew each other was there. But these collisions do happen in blind football. I've always said, and I'll say it once again, first thing for blind footballers, you need to be extremely brave to play blind football. And a polite round of applause here. In fact, no, rapturous round of applause for Loktinov, who gets to his feet. You can see the gauzes over their eyes. That protects their eyes. Then they put tape on top, and then they have the blindfold. They're all B1 degree of blindness, the players, and that's because we need to have a level playing field. And some players might have the odd bit of colour or the odd bit of light, but that blindfold just makes everyone on the same level playing field. It's been helped to the side, so there's going to be a substitution. And it's Vasily Nikolaev who's onto the field wearing 2, standing on the edge of his D. And we're back to 4 outfield players each. 5 minutes to go in this second semi-final. Russia 1, France 2. France with 5 team fouls, Russia with 4, and Sheliev for Russia attacking the goal to our left. Plays it out for Igonov, the top goal scorer for Russia in this tournament, although he is not fully fit and he doesn't move like he's fully fit at all. He's been on the field for this second half and he's a shadow of his former self. Nikolaev down the right, runs into Igonov. That's not going to help him at all. Igonov now in the centre circle. Normally puts the afterburners on down the right-hand side, but he's not got the pace this time and runs into Arazeki, who's a big man, and he can shield him off all day long. Whilst the ball is in play, the time is ticking, and that's not a bad thing if you're a French fan. Switch play down the right-hand side, deep into Russian territory, especially if the ball's in the Russian half. Short of answers at the moment, they might just have to rely on 8-metre penalties. Any more fouls by French players that go against the team, it will be another 8-metre penalty that we've just had. Arazeki again with the ball on halfway, right in front of the officials' dugout, goes himself down the left-hand kickboard. A third goal here surely will seal it, and he just pushes the ball out, and it will be again another goalkeeping restart. Pushed down the right by the goalkeeper on one knee. Igonov controls the ball, lovely little pirouette away from Baron, who's still on the field for France. Lebert, remember, France is off the field after 5 personal fouls. Baron comes in, connects with Igonov. The French bench is not happy at all. It's a foul by Baron, it's a foul against France, and it's going to be another 8-metre penalty. And with 3.5 minutes remaining, well, that could be one error too many for France. This could be the goal that gets Russia back into it. If it's all square at the end of 40 minutes, it's going to be another penalty shootout. We've already had one after a 2-2 draw. We might be having another. There's plenty of time. And remember, Russia have them 4 penalty fouls, so it could be a penalty at the other end sooner rather than later. This time to take the 8-metre penalty. Russia have already scored one and they've just missed one. It's going to be Igonov. Now this will be some story if the Russian number 7, Denis Igorov, manages to get his team back into the match. The crowd fall absolutely silent. The only noise is the shout from the goalkeeper and the sound of my voice. Igonov, right-footed, wide of the right-hand post. Wide by a good foot or so. Not the greatest penalty in the world. And well, the Russian coach, not happy at all, turns away in disgust. That's 2 missed penalties. They might have another chance. The ball goes out for a Russian goal kick, and there's 3.5 minutes remaining, so there's still plenty of time. Throw down the right for Russia. Stop from going down the play because it would have been a corner by Arazeki. Just leaves the ball behind, and it's going to be a bit of a tussle on the right. They're just trying to find the ball. Eventually Igorov finds it. He's got Arazeki behind him, and he's got Maron as well to try and get through. Also down there is Tikhonov. Tikhonov on the broken line, now has the ball for Russia. They need a goal and they need it fast. There's 3 minutes remaining. They're 2-1 down. Russia, the fancied team to go on and beat the French. But France are upsetting the odds at the moment. Tikhonov shoots from an acute angle. Good save by the goalkeeper. Diving away to his near post. He would have been disappointed to have beaten on his near post, but a good save nonetheless with his left palm. Palms it behind for a corner. Julien Royer, the French goalkeeper, he's played very well in this game. He would have been, I think, slightly disappointed by conceding the first 8-metre penalty kick, but he saved the crucial second one, and that's why France are still leading. Igonov from the corner loses possession, and now, because they're pushing men forward, Russia, there could be a counter-attack at any moment. They've got the players on the field, have France to do that, the likes of Baron. Tikhonov starting another mazy dribble. He can score from distance, and he might have a chance for the 8-metre spot, and he does. This will be the 3rd 8-metre penalty. Another foul by Baron, who must be racking up the personal fouls as well. There's the Russian bench, and the player's still on the ground. Tikhonov, I think he's just trying to get his breath because he knows it's going to be an 8-metre kick, and a yellow card for Baron, number 6, the captain. And the official now comes to the halfway line, and he's going to signify to the bench again the decision. So it's going to be, as we know, another 8-metre penalty kick. And he's also saying a yellow card. That's the 4th foul for Baron. So if there's another foul by him, he'll then be asked to leave the field, and he won't take part in any penalty shootouts. 2.5 minutes remaining. Now,
fourth personal foul.
If Russia score this, it will be 2-2 with 2.5 minutes remaining. Again, there's no extra time. It will be straight to spot kicks, and it's 3 spot kicks each, or best of 3. It's going to be number 7, and once again Denis Igorov to take responsibility. He's already had one effort, and that was wide of the right hand post. Now the coach behind is very carefully tapping that right hand post.
Yes.
Now he's shooting from the left side. Denis Igorov to get his team back into this game. Right footed, scores into the bottom left hand corner. This time he goes to the left, beats the goalkeeper, and it's 2-2 here in Berlin. The same result as in the first semi-final between Spain and England. It's Russia 2, France 2, and there's only 2.5 minutes to go.
Well, the fact that Denis Igorov is in the pitch anyway shows his perseverance, but finally for him, a goal from the spot, his second attempt, and that time around, it's perseverance once again coming to the fore for him. Very nicely poised indeed this game. 2-2, more or less as you were at the break. And a substitution being made by Russia as well. A short stint on the field for Vasily Nikolaev, who is replaced by Evgeny Ivanov. Sorry, the number 4, the captain, Alexei Loktyanov, who will come on to be the anchor of the Russian diamond and defend as well as he has done all the way through these championships so far. Of course, he scored a penalty in this game, and the fact that France have conceded 2 penalties due to their own ill discipline will massively disappoint their coach, Samir Gassama. So the kick is taken. Riviere running down the left channel. Riviere facing his own halfway line. Then Bakilzi on the overlap for Arizeki, who goes past his man into the area. Goes well saved by Yakolev, who claims his finger was caught by Arizeki's big feet. And now Igorov over the halfway line on the right-hand side. Goes past Baron, then checks back. France have everyone back. Igorov past Baron for a second time around. Igorov has certainly got the bit between his teeth since that penalty. Back is Penisson. Penisson will backheel it down the line. Well won by Igorov, though, who stabs it back now for Tikhonov. Tikhonov, who's got 2 red shirts up there alongside him. One of them is Igorov down the right kickboard. Igorov just toying with the French defence. Everyone back at the moment. Igorov running from right towards the left-hand side. Forced back towards the end of the centre circle, and Baron has given away a free kick. That is his 5th personal foul of the game, and that could be another team foul, which means Russia will get another opportunity from the spot here. Igorov is already marching towards the penalty spot, as is the referee. So off will go Baron, who will now have to be substituted. And the coach for France, Samir Gassama, just has his head in his hand. He knows that this game has slipped completely out of their hands here. Baron will be taken off. Is anybody ready to come on for France? No one is stripped yet, and no one's even got the blindfold on. So France are not prepared at all for this. They're going to have to finish the game with 3 outfield players. They haven't got a substitution ready. Ivan Mouangi was named on the bench, but he has not got anything over his eyes to be able to come onto the field, and he's still got his jacket on. So France finishing this semi-final with 4 men, conceding a penalty, and it's another opportunity from the spot for Denis Igorov. And if he scores this, not only will it be his 8th of the tournament, it will send Russia through to their 2nd successive blind football European Championship final. So from 8 metres, only Julian Royer separates Denis Igorov and Russia from the final, and Royer saves, beats it out towards the halfway line. All is not yet up, though, for France, because they only have 4 players. One of them is Riviere, who's trying to battle away midway inside the Russian half. Tikhonov comes down the other end. On the right side, Arezki is in front of him. He comes inside of Arezki. Arezki gets his body in the way as well, and Royer just manages to collect that into his hand inside his penalty area. So we are still heading for penalties here, and we've got 60 seconds almost remaining. Shalayev down the right-hand side will let that ball go out of play, and Russia will start from the back with Anton Yakovlev having the ball in 2 hands, and everybody for Russia is in the opposing half. Igorov controls it as he leans down onto his knee, then goes back towards the halfway line, laterally coming inside, goes to the left-footed ball down the line for Shalayev. Shalayev left side of the area. All 3 outfield players for France are back as Shalayev wriggles his way in field. Can he get a shot away? He's been forced back towards the far side now by Arzewski. He certainly would have felt that, would have Sheliev. Arzewski can't locate the ball, however, and France are panicking at the moment outside their own penalty box. Sheliev on the right-hand side, gets down the right kickboard, towards the byline he goes before checking back again. Arzewski runs into the ball, and the only person stopping that going from a corner was his teammate Pennisson, who kicks it off the kickboard, but it's still not completely away, it's still around the penalty area, and in the end Riviere just puts a right foot through it and tries to get it as far as he can. Kickoff back towards the edge of the area, real chance right-footed, and he just skews it wide of the far post, and with 20 seconds remaining, we are destined for penalties. Timeout called by France. Big team talk required here, Pete, but goodness me, it couldn't be closer.
Well, it's very similar to the previous semi-final. It's going to go down to the wire. You've got France on 15 fouls. You've got Russia on 14 fouls. It's 2 goals each. Penalties are looming. And a timeout called by France. And I think a very, very good decision, actually, to call a timeout, because at the moment, obviously, they'll want to score a goal and get through to the final. But with the way things are with their star players off the field, Lamé and also Baron, at the moment, I think they might just say, let's just get to this penalty shootout. And of course, that's what was going to happen with England in their semi-final. They've got 22 seconds left. Now, those 22 seconds will only tick down whilst the ball is in play. So I'm sure it's going to start with the goalkeeper for France. So I'd imagine the conversation will be, are we going to throw it downfield? Then maybe bring it back towards their own half and then clear it further downfield? Or are we going to go long and try and hold it down in the Russian half and maybe have a chance to score? It's an interesting conundrum. Now, Russia, to try and get to their second consecutive European Championship final, they might need penalties. It could be the 2013 final between France and Spain all over again. Long throw downfield. It's straight to the Russian players and their midfielder Kickoff, who's battling by the kickball. This is just wasting time, and this is going to suit France, I feel, and it's not going to be a winner in normal time. It's going to go to penalties once again for the second, although a charge there by the number 5 of France, but the whistle has gone on the far side. There's a discussion on the Russian bench. I think they were thinking, is it going to be a foul against Russia? No, it's the final whistle. The instant reaction there by the referee, he did point for a free kick for France. Now, of course, that would have just been a free kick and not a 8-metre penalty kick. So it is penalties once again.
Full time then, 2-2 in this one, the exact same, the mirror image, if you like, of Spain against England in different circumstances, but just as exciting. And we are able now to go back to the studio as both teams take on water and decide who's going to take penalties and in which order as well. Who's going to be brave enough to take their nation into the semi-finals? We'll find out in a few moments' time. But for now, let's go back to the studio and Alan Marsh, joined by Pete Selby.
15 shots on target each in this game, and all of a sudden it just went balmy out there in the Berlin nighttime. We'll have them highlights in a couple of moments, but France must have thought all of their Christmases were coming at once as they went 2-1 up in this one, and it just didn't look like France were going to concede. Russia just couldn't find anything that was hitting the target. Then France, Peter Selby, hit that magic number. They got to 5 team fouls, and Russia had 1, 2, and third time lucky from the spot. The 8-metre penalties, it took them a while, but they actually could be in the final already if they had tucked a few more of those away.
That's true. France have played ever so well. They've had players sent off because of 5 personal fouls. They've conceded goal. This is the second goal for France. Shot by Arzewski. Again, we were saying that the goalkeeper would have been disappointed with the first. I think he'd be disappointed with the second as well. And again, those fouls just totting up for France. And it was only a matter of time before one was going to be given as an 8-metre penalty kick. They've in fact had 3. And they've just failed to hold on, but I think they'll be happy with penalties, having lost their 2 best players. What a game of blind football. We've had 2 tremendous semi-finals, both gone to penalties, remember. And, well, at the moment, I don't know who would be the favourites, because I do fancy that the French keeper at the moment is performing better from these spot kicks. Of course, the spot kicks in the penalty shootout will be from the 6-metre spot, not the 8-metre.
And again, been some serious tackles going in here with this game. It is a very, very physical sport all the action being captured on our cameras, and you see Sheleyev there feeling the full force of Baron. That's a miss from the spot, and also from the swing afterwards. That one is not.
Interesting tactics there by Denis Igorov. A shadow of the player who's played for the whole tournament. He's injured. He shouldn't really be on the field, but desperation by Russia by bringing him on. His first penalty was saved. He went to the right. He was missed, actually. Missed the right-hand post. This time, looked like he was going to go over to the right, then switched into the left-hand corner. And I think that was a bit of a good plan there between the coach and the player. So another penalty shootout.
Well, if you're just joining us here, England and Spain went all the way to penalties, and England did what any England football team does sometimes, and we blazed a few in the wrong direction. Loktionov has got one for Russia in this one. He leads this Russian team into a penalty shootout.
Now, in the penalty shootout, there's only 3 penalties, best of 3. Instead of best of 5 that you might be used to in 11-a-side football, it's best of 3. Now, with France, they had 2 players removed from the field because they have 5 personal fouls against them. That was Develabert, number 8, and Baron, number 6. Now, if you ask me, Alan, name 2 players for France who I would want to take penalties, it would be Labert and it would be Baron. So they're missing, in my opinion, their 2 cleanest strikers of a blind football.
We're asking the question then, if it's 3 apiece after these 3 penalties, who steps up next for France? Let's just go back around the circle, I would imagine.
Yes.
Well, we'll find out. Jonathan Bell is still in the commentary box, and we'll hand over to him very shortly as France are ready. Russia are ready. A place in the final of the 2017 IBSA Blind Football European Championships. Here's your commentary team.
Well, Alan, I've just found out your answer to the question. It will indeed go back around again, and Russia can only have 3 players taking those kicks as well, because France are down to 3. So first one up is number 5, Hakim Areski, who take this with the right foot. He's already scored one today from a free kick. Can he score from the penalty spot? Yes, he can. Straight into the top left corner of the net. And advantage France after spot kick number 1. Wonderful take from the big number 5, who put everything he could muster into that one with the right peg there. And the French bench going absolutely crazy, as if they'd already won this game. But of course, still quite a bit to go in this penalty shootout. Russia now taking their first spot kick with captain Alexei Loktionov, who's had a penalty saved in this match so far. And of course, he scored a penalty before that. So, third time around, will it be just like spot kick 1 or just like spot kick 2? Loktionov. It's spot kick number 1 all over again. No mistake this time around. Past Royer's right-hand hand and into the back of the net. All square after 1 kick apiece. So now the pressure falls on Gaël Rivière, the number 4, who comes up towards the 6-metre line, guided, of course, by Manuel Morgado, who usually stands behind the goal. And one reason why his son isn't playing, Fabrice Morgado, is because of that awful injury to his ankle in the first period. So France could not bring Morgado back on due to that injury once Baron had been taken off. So that's why France will only have 3 players taking these kicks, and in return, Russia will only be allowed to have 3 players going towards the spot as well. Rivière, right-footed, top corner once again. Anything Areski can do, Rivière can do just as well too. Finds it in the opposite top corner this time around, and Yakovlev for a second time, absolutely no chance. Massive pressure now on Denis Igorov, and Julian Royer will know this man's spot kicks better than anybody else in Europe. He's already had 3 efforts. One of them a goal, one of them saved, and one of them completely missed the target. So he's done a bit of all 3 possible outcomes here, Denis Igorov. This time around, it has to be absolutely faultless. Royer standing wide, crouching down a little bit. Igorov 2 hands on hips, then places his hands either side of the ball. Right-footed shot, and this time he scores. Denis Sigurov, beautifully composed on the spot and just strolls away, clapping the crowd. Of course, that right foot injured after their last game, Russia, against Belgium. But he manages to score here against France and equalise things up at 2-2. So, up next, Jérôme Pénisson. If he misses this and Russia score, then Russia will be in the final. But if Pénisson scores, he puts all the pressure back on the runners-up from 2015. For what could possibly be the final time, Manuel Morgado taps either side of the goal frame. And it's all down now to Jérôme Pénisson against Anton Yakovlev. Pénisson scored into the bottom right corner of Yakovlev's net. And now Russia must score, and tasked with the responsibility is Evgeny Shalayev. If he misses, then France will be taking on Spain in a repeat of the 2013 European Championship final. Will the three-time winners of this competition be back to battle for a fourth? Shalayev towards the spot, pointing two hands towards the goal in front of him, before the guide behind the goal, Vitaly Budikin, will slowly tap either side of the goal frame. Everything has come down to this. 40 minutes of football and 5 spot kicks, all down to Evgeny Shalayev. Right-footed into the back of the net, and we will go to sudden death, and it will go around once again. Every player that's already scored is going to have another crack at it. So Areski now for attempt number 2 from him. He thought he'd done his bit by scoring the first penalty for France. Well, he's now going to have another opportunity. 6 meters out, Areski just making sure that his blindfold is covering his eyes, and Yakovlev in goal will be wondering if Areski will go for that top left corner again. Morgado again taps the post. He'll be hearing that noise in his sleep if this carries on any longer. Areski, right-footed save this time around, and Yakovlev may have just produced the save that gets Russia to the final. And it's a second opportunity for Alexei Loktionov from the spot to this time score and actually secure Russia for sure now a place in the final. This is his 4th penalty kick of the night. And Alexei Loktionov has to make sure he is the best out of all 4 of his kicks. Leading a team, leading a nation, possibly to the final of these blind football European Championships. Loktionov, sticking the 2 arms out in front of him, will come up to this with the right foot. If he scores, they're into the final, and it's saved by Roya. Julian Roya saw Anton Yakovlev a few moments ago and thought, right, I'm going to do a bit of that. And he manages to keep it out superbly with 2 hands, tipping it over the crossbar. And now again, it goes around to Gaël Rivière, the number 4. In a few moments' time, it won't just be Denis Sigurov and Alexei Loktionov that have had 4 penalties between them. It might just be the whole lot of both teams. The depleted French team with only 3 players remaining. Watch on from the halfway line. As Rivière from 6 meters out looks to put the pressure firmly back on Russia here. Will the pendulum swing once again in Leblanc's favour? The answer is no. Rivière misses, Yakovlev saves, tips it onto the crossbar. He's keeping cool. But Denis Sigurov, what a story. The man who looked as if he was going to miss out on this game due to the injury suffered against Belgium in the final group match of that match yesterday, returns and can possibly, with his 5th penalty of the night, get Russia into the final of the blind football European Championships. or will Julian Royer come up trumps once again? Denis Agorov has scored 7 goals in these championships, but this is the biggest kick of a football he has had all week. Agorov planting the ball down on the 6-metre spot. Will take this right-footed and he hits it wide, completely misses the target, and we will go around once again to the third taker for France initially. Jérôme Panisson, who is asked to take another, and this sudden death is going down right to the wire. Whatever you're doing tonight, cancel your plans. We could be here for some time. So France's number 7, Jérôme Panisson, with the right foot. Can he find the back of the net this time around? It was the penalty takers who were coming out on top in the first 3, but in the second round of spot kicks, the goalkeepers have shown us exactly what they can muster. Panisson, right-footed, he completely misses the target. Yakovlev not even tasked with having to make a save this time around. And once again, here's Shalayev. He must score. If he does, France are in the final. So will Russia secure the spot kick that sends them into their second straight blind football European Championship final? The Russian bench are expectant. Shalayev is hopeful. The crowd are on edge. Shalayev, right-footed, and again tipped over by Royer. And we're going to go round for a third time now. Will this match ever end? Hakim Areski is being chaperoned forward by Manuel Magado. We had 6 goals in a row. We've now had 6 misses in a row. Something is going to have to give sometime soon. Hakim Areski scored his first one. He managed to secure his second kick as well. What's going to happen on his third occasion? Areski crouches down, right-footed kick, and Yakovlev is getting very much used to these French penalty takers now. Pulls that one away with 2 hands. And Captain Fantastic, Alexei Loktinov, who has been one of the players of these championships so far, hasn't scored from open play all the way through this tournament. Could possibly get his third of the spot tonight. Loktinov, same routine from him. Right knee on the ground, left leg bent up, and 2 arms stretching forward. Loktinov, saved again. Julian Royer manages to deny him. And the referee's blown his whistle as if that is game over. And that, of course, is not the case. Loktinov is going to retake this one. And maybe that's because Julian Royer came off his line too early. The French bench are absolutely stunned. A couple of players are sat on the floor. Cannot believe it. I'm not too sure what the referee has seen there. Loktinov has another opportunity to take this, and if he scores, there's going to be bedlam on both sides of the bench. He does score, and Russia are into the final of the Blind Football European Championships for a second time in a row. They were there in Hereford 2015, and they'll be back in Berlin as well on Saturday night. They jump around in a heap of joy on the far side. The Russians that have made the long trip from Moscow finally realise it has all been worth it. A long night of football has come down to one controversial spot kick from Alexei Loktinov, who first time took it and it had been saved by Julian Royer. Second time he took it, he found the back of the net. Julian Royer protests with the officials who are stood in the centre of the pitch at the moment, taking handshakes from dignitaries and players alike. But it is fully finished now. We know who will be in the final on Saturday. It will be Spain against Russia. And France, they have fought so hard in this game. They took the lead right at the start of the second period, are dumped out due to a penalty in normal time from Denis Agorov, and then penalty kicks at the end. We had gone round on 3 occasions through the teams to try and decipher who will win this penalty shootout, and eventually Alexei Loktionov, the captain of Russia, leads his nation to another final in these European Championships. The French cannot believe it. They have battled hard tonight. They were really up against it, with Fabrice Morgado going off injured with an ankle injury. Then David Lebert was off for 5 personal fouls, and Martin Baron also went off as well for 5 personal fouls, and no one could replace him because they had no fit players left on the bench, did France. The French players clapped the crowd here in Berlin on what is a sad night for them. It began so well, but they fail at the final hurdle. They will play England in the 3rd, 4th place playoff here tomorrow night. As for Spain and Russia, they return on Saturday night to face each other in the European Championship final. That's the winning penalty. We can now go down to pitch side, where Pete Selby is joined by Alexei Loktionov and Denis Agorov.
Denis Igorov and Alexei Loktionov, the captain of the Russian side, who are through to the final of the IBSA Blind Football European Championships, a chance to make amends of the final 2 years ago. And there's also Sergei, who is the team administrator.
Yeah, был шанс в Англии попасть в финал, и сейчас наконец вы попали в финал. Ваши комментарии, ребят.
Мы все очень рады. Это было очень сложно. Мы проделали большую работу на пути к этому.
We are very happy right now. It was a long way to go. We are happy.
И мы очень рады, что эта работа принесла результат.
We worked very hard, and we are very happy that this worked, and we get success.
Мы хотели бы поблагодарить наших болельщиков, которых было очень слышно, которые придавали нам силу.
We want to thank all the audience. Thank you so much. You give us strength.
И, конечно же, команду соперника хотели поблагодарить за борьбу и за честную игру.
We also want to thank the French squad for the good game and for the fair play.
Это был достойный матч.
It was a very good match.
And Alexei, the captain of Russia, a chance to make amends for that defeat 2 years ago in the final. What will you take from that defeat through to another final?
В финале и теперь поражение, что вы извлекли из того поражения.
Мы поменяли соперников, во-первых, а во-вторых, мы стали лучше играть, и наша команда немного омолодилась, стала более энергичной и быстрой.
We improved a lot, I think. And our squad became younger and more energetic.
Alexei Loktionov and Denis Igorov, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 days in the final against Spain.
Thanks.
So there you go, Pete Selby with all the big names and the big interviews out there on the field. We're told, and we'll clarify this tomorrow for you, we're told it was retaken because he wasn't on the line at the time the penalty was taken. What a way to have potentially sealed their fate. Well, I'm sure those arguments will wrangle long into the night. This broadcast will not. It's dark here in Berlin, but we have our finalists. Let's take a look at the graphic that shows us who's made it through into the final. We know the playoff games, and we would like to see who has made it through to the final of this competition. We know it's not England. We know it's not France. It's Spain against Russia. That's the big one at 7:30 on the 26th of August, the final of the 2017 IBSA Blind Football European Championships. England-France in the third place playoff game as well. Tomorrow, make sure you're with us. We've got Romania and Georgia in the 9th place game, Italy-Belgium in the 7th place game, and a decider for a team to go to the World Cup next year in Spain. Germany take on Turkey in the big one at 7:30. Now, we'll take a look at the highlights of this game in just a few moments' time, but Jonathan Bell is alongside me. Jonathan, just an intriguing game from start to finish. We're going to have a look at the first half, the second half, should I say, and we're going to take a look at what started happening here in this game. And at half-time, evenly poised. Second half, it seems like an age ago the second half started. All those penalties went through, but it was a cracker.
Arezki got France off to the perfect start, 28 seconds into that second period. And one interesting thing there about the graphic on the screen was that Russia had 2 team fouls against them. They seemed to be the one living a bit of a charmed life and running the risk of possibly giving 8-metre penalties away later on in the half. But it actually was France who couldn't keep their discipline. Maybe the occasion was a bit too much for them. Of course, the adrenaline would have been pumping through their veins all the way through this match. And tackles like this certainly were very common indeed. That was a fair collision between Baron and Shelayev. However, later on in the contest, Baron and Lebert, the 2 key players for France, just lost their cool. 5 personal fouls were given against them, and they had to be sacrificed off the field of play. Of course, penalties were missed during the game as well. Gorov scoring the second penalty for Russia after Loktiemov ironically missed the first, and of course he was the man that got the clinical spot kick in the end in the penalty shootout. So many penalties taking place tonight. France, it was such a tight game, I have to say, in the game between Spain and England. I thought Spain edged that one despite the cruel circumstances, which England were knocked out in the end. But no one was edging this game. It was so close to call, and the fact that France are probably out because of giving so many penalties away during the game is really hard on them. They fought really well, but they fell at the final hurdle.
Okay, so I've got both of our commentators here in the studio. That's double trouble for me, I'm sure. I'm going to come to Pete first with this one. We're going to take a look now at the last few penalties of this game. Pete, sensational scenes here. Just unbelievable stuff. All of a sudden, it went from goal, 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 goal to save, save, save. And we just wondered where on earth these goals were going to come from. The captain's penalty, we thought it was another go round, and then we're told he has to retake it. We're up here, we've been told it's because he's moved off the line before the penalty's taken. We've had that as an official wording. Pete, you took the interview downstairs. There's some happy Russian guys out there, though, isn't there?
They are. They were ice cool in their interview, and they were ice cool in a number of their penalties. I think both goalkeepers come out with a lot of credit in terms of their saves. Up until that moment, he started actually off his line and then slightly jumped forward. So, well, it's slightly controversial, but that's the decision by the referee. And then it was buried with the second attempt. Loktinov again in that interview afterwards, saying that they're a younger, a fitter side. They're going to need to get over a few injury problems because they need to get Denis Tsiganov fit and ready to actually start a match and participate and show his full speed. He's their top goal scorer, and he was a shadow of himself today.
Okay, I'm going to put you both on the spot in a second. Let's take a look at what we've got coming up tomorrow. Remember, the playoff games for 9th, 7th and 5th. That 5th game is an absolute cracker, but our next one is Romania versus Georgia. I've got one final question for our commentators. We've got 2 finalists. You were wrong, and you were wrong at the beginning of this tournament, so I'm going to put you both on the spot. Who's going to win this from here on in? Jonathan, I'll come to you first.
Spain.
Pete?
I'll go Russia then.
Well, there you are. Look at that. It's 50-50, isn't it? I'm going to go for a draw in an 18-goal penalty shootout. We'll see you all tomorrow. Make sure you join us for the playoff games, 9th, 7th and 5th. From all of us here at the IBSA Blind Football European Championships 2017. Good night.
leave the plug there. Take the fucking plug with you. Stick it up your fucking ass. Yeah, it's a 3 metre long cable.
Alors. Notre pas, comment?
There's a fuel in the back.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you just use bars and toes? You think there? I'm surprised he knows what's up.
Alors, ben, quand? There.
Oh, you don't have fucking thumbs, no. He's using bars and tones, which is colours and tone for TV out.
Don't take so much.
Yeah. Because where you hit is where you look, right? So contact. Yeah. And they do a lot of like tricks. And the guy's like, what? Ah, shit.
I'm surprised he knows what it is, or is it Mark doing that?
Yeah, no, different technique. Also, no high balls, only like 4, and yeah, really interesting. And the whole like talking thing, and then they say lost, like in French they were going perdu, which means the ball is lost, means it's in the other team. Like there's all these codes. It's really cool.
He literally knows anything. He would be able to go up to him like, oh,
First I didn't understand anything. Why is everybody shouting?
Come on, Kimmy, man, come on.
So how long are you guys in Berlin? 6 days. 6 days. Yeah. Shooting every day? Yeah. Oh shit, that's a bit tough. No free time.
Little bit.
Ready?
Yeah.
For drink me.
Okay. Left foot. Nice.
Download the touch and drink beer. That's all.
Well, every time I go to Russia, it's also to rabota every day. So I never have free time in Moscow. Like, I've been 9 times to Russia now. Every time, just fucking working all the time. And everyone's like, yeah, you got the dacha, hey, vodka, you know, sauna. I'm like,